this morning. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Give me 1 second. I got to hit a button here. Hold on. There we go. Now we're cooking with grease. Good deal. We got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. I want to make sure that everybody know that you definitely could call in. You definitely could call in. We'd love to have your input. All you have to do is dial the number 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. We'd love to have your input. Before we get into the topic, I want to say good morning to this young lady. Usually you see a happy and smiley face, but she's not able to get on this morning on the video side. But this is Miss Sheila Strong. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, everybody.
She's still happy
How's
though.
everybody doing? You know what? I'm excited and I'm always happy because I remember this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall
Well,
rejoice and be
rejoice.
glad in it. No matter what you're
And
going through,
mm,
no matter about the storms that's brewing in the Gulf, no matter, you still can have joy,
mm.
peace, and happiness and stay strong, even she was strong.
And you know what? Not just joy, but unspeakable joy. Unspeakable joy. Come on now. You gotta say
That
it like
joy
it's
that surpasses all understanding.
come on now. You better say it. You better say it. But we got a topic we're gonna talk about this morning. And I think it's gonna be quite interesting. Um we're going to talk about instant replay. We're going to talk about instant
Ooh,
replay. And what that is why do we keep reliving the same pain of another black or brown individual getting shot and killed by the police officers? Why do we keep why do we keep having to relive over and over again? The last episode was I think it was Wisconsin. Uh I think no, I think it was Wisconsin where the young man got shot 7 times in the back. I think that was Wisconsin. And
yeah, it was in Wisconsin.
yeah, got shot 7 times in the back. Now he didn't die. He didn't die, but the ideal alone of getting shot 7 times in the back while you're trying to get into your car with your kids in the back seat. Man, I've seen situations where individuals walking with that didn't look like us was threatening police officers with a knife, walking around and beating the car window with the knife and stuff. They try to hit him with the car, but they subdued him, put him in handcuffs. They put him in handcuffs and took him off to jail. He got handcuffed. Minister Neal said this all the time. He got handcuffs, but we are getting coffins. So we're talking today about Chris, the instant replay. Why do we keep replaying the same visual, the same thing over and over and over again? What do you say to that?
You know, first to that young man's family. My deepest um, condolences, not for his death, but because his life would never be the same
Mm-hmm.
because he's paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
And the amount of care and everything that's going to have to go for him, I really applaud the family. And I'm gonna say this in that, and I think my grandmother was the one who instilled this into me because I was a kid that I like to question things, and I used to question my grandma, say, "Mommy, why you always
Mm-hmm.
punishing me for when I do something wrong? Like why I gotta get punished or whatever, but why I gotta be get disciplined?" She said, "Sweetheart, if I never give you a consequence, then you'll continue doing the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know that there's going to be some consequences, it's going to make you a better woman
Yeah. Yeah.
or a better person
Mm-hmm.
because there's a consequence that you don't like that happens. Because I
Mm-hmm.
used to love. I remember I had got her eyeliner. Just tell you what kind of kid I was. I had got her eyeliner and some colors and markers, and I drew on my wall, on my door in my room because I was decorating it. And
Mm-hmm.
so I used up all her makeup. I used all my stuff just to paint and decorate my room.
Mm-hmm.
And she went to go put her makeup on and got realized my grandma was older, so she wore makeup to cover stuff. So she was kind of mad at me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Needless to say.
Mm-hmm.
But I got in trouble for it. And I was like, well, mommy, I was just being Christian. She said, but that's not the way you do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to answer that question the same way my grandmother did. Until there are consequences to their behavior,
Yes. Come on.
until they stop getting patted on the back for taking us out
Mm-hmm.
or causing us harm, then it's not going to change. I don't care how many rallies you have. I don't care how many organizations you come up with. I don't care how many leaders it come, because you have to understand, even when Martin Luther King was doing his nonviolence, change didn't come until people saw the consequences of Selma.
Yeah. Yeah.
When Selma happened and all these people filmed them getting beaten, hurt, and
Mm-hmm.
scorned, it raised awareness of it. Even though there is awareness,
Mm-hmm.
there's not enough awareness to make it as though it's a shame.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
awareness is good job, buddy. You got
Mm-hmm.
that nigger today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, great job, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
a pat on the back and not consequences, because the pat on the back is when you go to court for it, our judicial system upholds their wrongdoing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So what do we have to do? We have to put people in place that are going to be responsible enough to hold people accountable for their actions. So how do we do that? Voting. But a lot of us don't want to vote because we're frustrated and tired and feel like our vote don't matter and tired of voter suppression. So
Mm-hmm.
we're not voting. We're not going into any of the meetings, the city council meetings. We're not being involved. We're just sitting here just letting it happen and thinking that if I film it, it's going to make a difference when it doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
There has
Exactly.
to be some strong consequences. And
Mm-hmm.
I read a Facebook post that said one time, I think this was from Leonard. I think it was a Facebook post from Leonard. I'm not sure. I think it was. But in it says like once they kill innocent black or brown people, what if one of their wife or their
Mm-hmm.
child or just immediately drop dead at
Yeah.
what they're doing?
Mm-hmm.
Then would they continue to do what they're doing? Because that's just to go to show that if there was a consequence,
Mm-hmm.
then the behavior would change.
Exactly. Hey, Christy, let me get you to do something. But I see. I think Toy is trying to call in right now, but for whatever reason, it won't let the call come through. Let me shut down this Skype and bring it back up. Give me 1 minute and call me right back, because I see my sister
Sure.
Toy trying to call back in, trying to call in. I want to make sure she's able to get through. Okay, so
Okay, I'll call back.
okay, all right.
Bye.
And we technical difficulty. You know how how the phone system could be sometimes, is trying to act up on us a little bit. And I told you, I see that you're trying to call in. It says, hold on, let me redo the phone, and so you'll be able to get through. I do apologize for that. But that's what we're talking about today. And I want you all to call in. Give us a call. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. We're talking about instant replay. Instant replay. Why do we keep having to instantly replay the same thing over and over and over? The same pain that we had to endure over and over and over again, because of the fact that these police officers, and mind you, when I say this, not all of them, because I have friends that are police officers. That's the only force, that been on the force for a long time, that does a magnificent job, love people, and are doing it for the right reasons. But you have some individuals, that get that badge, get that gun, and they get that badge, and all of a sudden, they become a Clint Eastwood or somebody, and they just, they are the law. They are the judge, the jury, and the prosecutor. And this last situation, um, man, why this man getting into his car, his kids in the backseat? What do you think he's gonna do? He have his kids. He's trying to protect his kids. It wasn't, you didn't even come there for him. From my understanding, you came there because of the fact there was some kind of altercation between two females. And the bystanders were saying that he was actually the one trying to bring the peace. He was trying to break it up, trying to bring the peace. But yet and still, this man is paralyzed for the rest of his life. paralyzed for the rest of his life because you took upon yourself. What kind of training did you have that tells you that you can shoot this man 7 times, 7 times, 7 times, 7 times in the back? What kind of training did you have to tell you that you can shoot this man 7 times in his back? I'm not understanding. Please help me understand what kind of training that you got that make you think it's okay to shoot anybody 7 times in the back while they're trying to get into their car. There were several police officers there. Why couldn't you subdue this man? What did he do? What did he do that was so bad that merited you to become again the judge, juror, and the prosecutor and shoot this man in his back 7 times? Please explain to me. Give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. And maybe there's somebody out there that can tell me. Maybe you have an idea as to what it was or what happened. Or just give me some kind of idea. Help me understand why do you think it's okay to shoot this man in his back 7 times with his children in the back seat? What do you think he was going to do? Christy, talk to me. What do they think? What kind of training is that to tell an individual that they can shoot another individual 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the back? What do you think?
There's nothing in. My dad was a police officer for many, many years, and I can tell you that there is nowhere where they felt like they were in danger. There was no reason to retaliate in that manner. They was trying to execute this black man for nothing, in my opinion. In my opinion, they are too trigger happy and taser happy when it comes to people of color. I know I've seen a video of this white man who had a knife. I think he was in a car and he had a gun. And they pulled him out of the car without hitting him, without shooting him. And I said, "What are you doing with that gun, buddy?" But had that been an African-American man, he would not have made it out.
Yeah.
He would have been dead on sight.
Exactly.
So I don't know why the critics or the people that may be cannot see the difference between people of color and police brutality. It's still going on. Even Martin Luther King's speech said one day is going to be a day where we won't have to worry about police brutality. That's why I can honestly say that Martin Luther King's dream has not been revitalized or realized or lived this day. Although we do have, more freedoms and stuff we have, but we're still enslaved. We're still enslaved by mind. They dangle a fruit in front of you and make you feel content in a world where you have no say, no freedom. Your sons can be killed, your daughters can be raped. You can go to jail for almost nothing, and then you can get triple and double the time that someone else has. If anybody doesn't see this, I don't know what America they're looking at. Don't get it twisted. I love America, but I think America can be great if we put the right people in office.
Yes, absolutely.
So I really believe that there's no reason to shoot someone unless they have a gun pointing at you, and then to shoot them in their back is coward. That means their back was turned to you. You were not in any danger, so you took the coward move and shot this man in the back.
Exactly. Now, we was having some phone difficulties this morning, and I saw my sister was trying to call in. I had to redo the phone line so I could get my sister with it. Good morning, Toya with the T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing?
What's going on, Toya with the T?
Morning, family. How are y'all?
Hey, doing good, girl. Look at here. You know we love you, girl. We shut the whole phone line down and brought it back up so we can make sure we got you in here. We saw you was trying to call, man, and on the phone line, technology, you know how it acts sometimes. I kept trying to answer it, but it won't let you through. But my thing is, we're talking about something this morning, Toya, and I want to hear your heart because I know how passionate you are about this topic. We're talking about instant replay. Why do we keep having to relive it over and over again? people getting killed by the police, people that look like us getting killed by the police officers. Why do we have this last situation? And the young man didn't die, but he's paralyzed. He's paralyzed for the rest of his life. Got shot 7 times in the back, getting into his car with his children. Now, what make you think that you are the judge, juror, and the prosecutor so that you could shoot this man and not knowing whether he's going to die, maybe even with the intentions of killing him, shoot him 7 times in the back? Why do we have to do this instant replay and see this situation happen over and over again, Toya? What do you say to that?
Couple of things. You gotta look at that video.
Mm-hmm.
The officer was holding the back of his shirt as he was shooting him, and when he let the last shot off, if you look at the video, he still had that man's shirt in his hand.
Yeah.
Couple of things. One, nothing ever changed.
Mm-hmm.
It's been like this.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we fooling? Why are we acting like it ever changed for us?
Yeah.
It never changed for us. It probably changed for you and your neighborhood, but it never changed for us.
Mm-hmm.
They always felt like this about us. They always did this to us. They always have casted these kind of atrocities upon us. So there is nothing new, for one. For two, I understand the frustration, okay? But that boy, no, he wasn't supposed to be walking away from that car like that. This is the problem, okay? We as humans, street cats, can't be walking away from another cat because, it's going to make them mad, this, that, and third. We have to understand that when we're dealing with authorities of power. It's the same way. The same way you feel some way about somebody not listening to you, these guys do that. Now, when you take the recipe of they've been doing like that, they've been waiting for a reason to kill us. On top of they got the lawful extent to do so. We can't. I mean, I get it. You know, we ain't got nothing to lose. So it doesn't matter about a cop pulling up on a car no more anyway, because they've been mistreating our men and lying on them and putting them in situations to where, like, it doesn't matter to them anymore. Like, it's a lose-lose situation. If I don't do anything, I go to jail. If I do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the black men are just, they over it. They don't even care no more. Because you're not doing the right thing. You ain't been doing the right thing. If I do the right thing, I'm going to jail. I'm finna get jacked up. So black men are just like, no, you're not going to take my rights from me anymore, period. Because it's been a very long time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, we're at a point now to where we're over it. We were dying anyway. We jumped through every hoop. We straightened our hair. We lightened our skin. We cooked their food. We watched their babies. We done been raped, beat, you name it. We done been through all of that. And still. So they're like, whatever. I'm going to get in my car because I know I didn't do anything. I'm going to go make it back home to my kids and walk away from you because I know I didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? So, and I think that's where we are in the state of America with our black men right now, honey. Again, I said this on the show before. Our black men, we've overlooked everything that y'all go through on a regular daily basis. And then you got to come home and fight and deal and have a whole nother war with us.
Yeah. Wow.
So, you know, it's just like black men are the epitome of, I guess, brutality right now. And we really have to be understanding and sympathetic to these guys when we see them. You know, people are going to say, well, you know, he walked away. He went and he opened up his car door and we didn't know what he was going to get. Well, I just shared a video the other day. Oh, my gosh, I can't remember the white boy. He walked into the police station, picked a fight with the police, took the police officer gun, shot it. 4, 5 other police officers, this is in the jail now, 4, 5 other police officers jumped on him and he made it away alive.
I saw the
and that's
video.
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and I saw the video the other day. I saw the video. I'm sorry, Chris. I saw the video the other day where somebody shared it with me, where the man was actually had a knife. He had a knife, and he was trying to attack the police officer. They hit him with the car a couple of times. He trying to bang the one out the car to get to the police officer inside the car with the knife. They finally, about 7 to 10 minutes later, subdued him, then hit him with the car, knocked him over, and put handcuffs on him and everything, and took him to jail. Now, had that been and I was looking at the comments, everybody was saying the same thing. Had he been a black man, he'd be dead. He would have been dead 10 minutes ago. Why is this
2 minutes ago?
Exactly. Go ahead, Christy. And we got another caller. We're going to go to the call in just 1 second. Go ahead, Christy.
But I read this Facebook, it makes sense because this is going to help someone. It says that telling our black men to be more respectful to police officer is just like telling a woman who has been raped that's because of the clothing that she has on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you cannot say, I mean, because right now black men don't know what to do. If I stay in the car, I get shot. If I get out the car, I get shot and beat. If I walk away, I'm going to get beat up. If I stand there and talk to you, still going to do something to me.
Mm-hmm.
So then I need a police officer to tell me, what do we need to do as a people to stop, you know, the brutality? Because it seems like it doesn't matter. If you say girl, and I say, well, I'm not a girl, you can say miss, then they're going to want to hit me.
Yeah.
So you tell me what we need to do, because I don't see anything that we can do, because you're hit on every count.
Exactly. Anna, good morning. Anna, how you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm good.
Good day. Anna, we're asking a question. We're talking about instant replay. Why do we have to keep replaying the same video over and over again with us black and brown people getting killed by the police officers? The situation that just happened in Wisconsin. Now, this man, he didn't die, but he was shot 7 times in the back. Now, the story is he's paralyzed. He'll be paralyzed for the rest of his life. What make the police officers, the judge, juror, and the prosecutor so they feel as though they could shoot somebody 7 times? What part of your training tells you to shoot somebody 7 times with them simply trying to get into their car with the kids in the back seat? How is this right? Why instant replay? Why do we keep replaying the same thing over and over and over? Why do we keep having to do that, Anna?
Okay, so I'll start by saying this. Not every law enforcement officer is a bad person, okay? I have family members and I have friends who are some of the best law enforcement officers anybody will ever meet. So we're not talking about you, but these bad apples make it bad for you and everyone else. I'll start there. And I also want to say to Jacob Blake and his family, I'm keeping you in my prayers, because life will never be the same. The truth. Life is never going to be the same for those children, the bond that they will have, and just everything. Medically wise, it's a lot that family's going to have to endure. So, you know, everybody, please keep that family out in your prayers, as well as him. Especially those babies, they're traumatized for life. They probably have PTSD now. Anyway, with that being said, when you did anybody watch the Republican National Convention last night?
I couldn't.
Because I watch it just to laugh.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
Okay. That's how it was the first day.
For 2 seconds, let alone listen to the convention. He makes me throw up just looking at it.
But it's good to listen to it, and I'll tell you guys why. And sometimes, you know, I've learned, you know, let me just kind of listen to see where people's frame of mind is at. One of the things that was said on Melania's speech, if I remember correctly, she said that people are making a big deal about these murders, and they said that there would be criticism about it this morning. I'm surprised nobody's seen it yet. Maybe nobody's tuned in, but and instead of them protesting and rioting, and you know, she called them looters. I mean, I don't know like into detail. It was kind of late, so you know, she was the last speech, so I was kind of tired. But anyway, she said something that I know a lot of us would take negative. I'm saying people of color. What the problem is, in my opinion, is that when you have the top supporting these actions, just kind of, hey, we support law enforcement. No one's ever said that we don't. No one's ever said we don't like law enforcement. No one's ever said, I mean, God bless you guys for doing what you do and being able to come home, because that's got to be a very traumatic job. And we understand your life is in danger. You do have thugs out there, but they're not those protesters who are protesting for Jacob Blake or George Floyd and others. Okay, and they're not people who are doing the right thing, you know. And I understand, like I said, they're thugs, but I think we continue to see this because the nation hasn't gotten angry enough. More and more people of the Caucasian color, I'm seeing that they're getting angry, and I'm actually seeing it down my post that they are getting angry. But when you see people of our color not angry, not bothered by it, and justify it by saying, well, maybe you need to cooperate and just stand there instead of going in your car. No one knows what his frame of thought was. Like I say, he probably felt, I'm not doing anything. Why should I stand right here? Whatever his frame of thought might have been. I just don't, I can't even fathom. And I tried picturing it in my head. How do
Mm-hmm.
you just grab a gun, such close range, and
Mm-hmm.
shoot this man? And I think to myself, okay, what have I done? These police officers, all they need is a 2.0. And I'm not criticizing, but a 2.0, a few months of training. Meanwhile, you have educators, medical field,
Mm-hmm.
computer, so forth, so on. They have to have at least 2 years of school.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to learn a little more psychology, and maybe we need to focus more on how do I calm down, because obviously there's a bipolar issue or something going on, or you have anxiety where you just had to pull that trigger.
Mm-hmm.
Just my opinion. I stand firm by what I say. They need better training. I do blame the whoever hired them. I blame them because maybe they should have given them more training. They can justify that, like I said, over and over again. Someone just sent me a video 2 days ago of another Hispanic man as well that was choked to death for 7 minutes. Okay, 7 minutes by law enforcement officer on camera, and all because he had a mental issue. Why not get enough training to where, okay, wait a minute, something doesn't seem right. Medical field does it,
Mm-hmm.
teachers do it, other
Mm-hmm.
people with other jobs do it, firefighters, ambulance, EMT. Why cannot the police do this? And
Mm-hmm.
again, like I said, I'm not saying every one of them, but the few bad apples have made it really bad to where nobody even wants to call the police. And
Exactly.
that's bad, you know? So anyway, that's pretty much it.
Okay. And see that's the whole thing right there, because you're absolutely right. They don't have enough training. They don't have enough training. And my thing is, even with a lot of training, how can a person justify shooting anybody 7 times? I mean, you one or two is not enough. And that's terrible to even shoot them once or twice. That's terrible. But to shoot them seven, Donald, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? To shoot somebody 7 times, Donald, 7 times in the back. What threat are they that you're shooting them 7 times in the back? Donald, you there? Good morning. Okay, Donald, I went to sleep. I'm gonna wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Let me go back to Toya. Toya, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I mean, Anna's right. I'm not gonna. Let's just be honest. Doing your job has nothing to do with education.
Mm-hmm.
Doing your job has nothing to do with training. You're gonna do your job once you learn it, once you show it to the best of your ability, because that's who you are, and these are who they are.
Mm-hmm.
These are the people that they are. They listen. I've got family members, honey, that are cops. And let me tell you something. When you see these people running these red lights, that's them.
Mm-hmm.
That's them. I have family members that are cops, and I know of certain stories and treasure and terrorization that they do. I done seen people close to me that we were cool with change after they came police officers, honey.
Mm-hmm.
You can
Mm-hmm.
see the power. Never ever hit a woman before. Now a woman beater. Never ever would think about example, putting their kid in a situation to where they're trying to make a 2-year-old operate like they're in the military.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, they change in the spirit. Whatever spirit is on policing that stems from a long time ago, let's not sleep on these spirits, y'all, these principalities. Whatever spirit has been on policing and unleashed, because police officers were not always like that. But you know what? I can't even say that no more because we've been so mistreated for so long. I can't even say they weren't
Mm-hmm.
always like that
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they were. We were just fooling ourselves like everybody else. Oh no, well you shouldn't have broke that crime and you wouldn't have had to get shot like that. But the spirit over policing and the power that they're having. Again, we got a cop in Griffin that shot and killed his wife. She didn't die though,
Mm-hmm.
and the entire precinct tried to cover it up. The entire precinct. You ain't hear what I said. The
Mm-hmm.
entire precinct, including the chief, tried to cover it up for his officer. That
Mm-hmm.
was white. That was his wife. If they don't care nothing about them beating on their wives, what you think they gonna care about a black man who they feel like is an imminent threat? I mean, it's not gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
So whatever this power is and this spirit over policing is the key thing. And this is the real kicker for me. Okay. They all have psychiatric evaluations before they become police officers.
Mm-hmm.
What are you evaluating psychologically
Mm-hmm.
that is allowing these type of people with these type of temperaments to come on your force? Why?
Exactly.
This system with officers. If y'all don't think this is in our hospitals, you're wrong. Our
Mm-hmm.
doctor's offices, you're wrong. Our
Mm-hmm.
school, you're wrong. Our tax offices, you're wrong. Our car dealerships. The cops are not the only ones. So we
Mm-hmm.
have to be diligent and pay attention to what everybody's doing and be prepared because if they're doing it to us physically, you know they're doing it to us financially and any other way.
Exactly. Exactly. We have another call, and the phone lines are open 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. We're talking about instant replay. Instant replay. Why do we keep replaying the same situation over and over and over again? Where our people our black and brown people are getting killed, shot and killed by the police that's supposed to serve and protect us. What makes it right? Now, this guy, like I said again, just for clarity, the guy in Wisconsin, he did not die, but he was shot seven times in the back, getting in the car with his children in the back seat. Now, he didn't die, paralyzed for the rest of his life. But what made it right? What made the police officer think that it was right or even okay to shoot this man 7 times in his back? Good morning, Frank. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. How's everybody?
Hey, doing good, doing good. What's on your heart, brother? What do you say to this, man? Instant replay. We doing an instant replay. Different stars of the show be getting killed every day by police officers. What do you say to that?
Well, first of all, I have to admit that, a few months ago, maybe a month and a half ago, when we first spoke about this, I came from a perspective of my reality.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand that I live in one of the blackest cities in the world. That probably 60% of our police department is black. So there's a lot of things and then I'm not saying that black officers can't be involved in corruption because they have, and they've done some of the most heinous things in the world. One of our black mayors were a part of that. But
Mm-hmm.
I spoke from a perspective of being a Detroiter. And I have to be careful about what I say next because, like I say, my heart is broken, man. If you can't watch somebody get shot 7 times, that's not anything else but someone trying to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't shoot somebody 7 times to do anything else, but you don't want that person to get back up. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want the possibility. So this was already in his head before anything happened. But the perspective that I spoke from that was incorrect, and I was wrong in speaking this and having making an absolute statement, was that it things happen here, but we do have a large part of our police department. They kind of govern the white officers. Um, and even though there are black people that get killed here, and get killed by the police department, there's more of a corruption to it than a racial tinge. And then not only that, the police officers here in Detroit understand that when the community gets a feel that they're under attack, they literally begin to start to attack police. You know, it's an unwritten rule here in Detroit where if you start shooting us, we're gonna start shooting you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of governed that. So, there's a liberty. There's a grace that I've kind of been under that is unfair for me to speak to this. Like I live in a Wisconsin or in an Alabama or somewhere like that where the police department is probably not 60% black.
Mm-hmm.
And 60 here in Detroit may be a low number. But what we're seeing are the people that you're seeing that are doing these heinous things. And the sister that spoke earlier, she's absolutely right. I do know people that, there's when that weren't police officers, became police officers, it became different people because of this absolute power. I carry a badge, and that's pretty much it. I carry a gun. We have this loyalty amongst each other that no matter what we do, we're not going to tell on each other. And matter of fact, we're going to report just the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
And then they get put in these stressful situations, and it's almost like it's a lot of them. And I'm not talking about. Trust me, I'm separating the people that are killing these people from who I'm talking about now.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a lot of police officers that suffer mental stress.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like scared dogs, and they begin to do things that they normally wouldn't do. But the group of people that are doing these things, this is calculated.
Mm-hmm.
These people I believe they have a plan. That wick was lit when this man went into office and said, "Quit being so kind to the people that you arrest." And it's been even worse since then.
Yeah. But see, my thing is, and if that's the narrative, my question is, why did the young man that went into the church in Charleston and shot up all those people, why was he allowed to go to Burger King? If you don't want them to, don't be so kind to the people you arrested. This man just killed he killed people inside the to the people that were arresting. Why was he bought lunch? Why was he bought dinner on their dime?
Well, you do understand. You do understand when he was saying that who he was talking to,
Oh yeah,
who
absolutely,
he was talking about.
absolutely,
When he was
absolutely.
saying
That's
stop
my
being
point.
so kind, you understand
That's
who
my
he was saying stop being so kind to.
and that's my point. And that's my point. That's absolutely my point right there. Yes, I do. Yes, I do understand that, and that's the point, because they're targeting black and brown people. Like Minister Neal say all the time. He says all the time. He say they may get handcuffs. He say they may get handcuffs, but we get the coffin. And so that's where the
Raheem,
go ahead.
you know, I don't want to come off. No, I'm not gonna say that. I ain't gonna make excuses for this. I feel like we feel like we have to give our accusers and the people that wrong excuses.
Mm-hmm.
And to make it seem as though, okay, well, the excuse is now, oh, well, they think they have power, or the excuse may be, oh, well, they may have mental issues. Oh, well, I'm sick and tired of us as a people giving police officers excuses.
Mm-hmm.
It's no excuse why he should have shot this black man, period. That's the end of the sentence. Put a period there, exclamation point. That's it. There's no because or if he wouldn't have walked. There shouldn't be anything after that. And that officer should be held accountable, period.
Mm-hmm.
All this other thing about whether or not a police officer change once they become a police officer, if they hold each other let's stop giving and being as though, okay, well, let's say this. You intentionally shot a black man holding his shirt in his back in front of his kids, period. This is not a correct behavior, period.
Mm-hmm.
He needs to be held accountable, period. There should be any other excuses behind that. It shouldn't be anything else to give way to make it seem as though it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you feel like you have power, because you're racist, because whatever. That's it. That's it. You had an issue. You did something wrong. All officers are underpaid. You knew this when you took this job. When you decide that you want to be a police officer, you knew how the pay was going to be. You knew what you have to go through, and we all know it's designed to take out black and brown people. That's what it was meant to do way back in, to bring the slaves in and kill them or whatever you have to do with them to get your money. So they're having to change. Their mentality is to take out the black society, black and brown people, period. Now, what we do with that is what we do with it. If you choose to put your head in the sand and make excuses, then okay. But there's people, until somebody stand up, until a people stand up and get tired of being tired and actually give them some consequences, it's not going to change.
678-381. Hold on, Frank. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. The phone lines are open. Yes, we're live right now. Give us a call. We'd love to have you in. Instant replay. Why do we keep reliving the same thing over and over and over again? Where the police officers, the very ones that have sworn to serve and protect us, are killing us at a terrible, terrible rate. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. What's up, Frank?
So the one thing that we have to do in order to help stop this thing is we got to quit arguing. And I don't want that to turn into that this morning, because I'm not interested in that. And the one thing that I made very clear when I spoke is not trying to excuse away what a corrupt police are doing. Trying not to make it something that it's not. It's murder. Okay? But the thing that I spoke to from Detroit is the two different groups of people. The thing that we have to do is that we have to listen to understand, not to come back with a rebuttal. What I said is that I believe that there is a group of people out here that are totally intended on killing people, that is their goal. It's not, they don't get into the heat of the moment. It has nothing to do with the crime. When you have a man that stands over somebody else and shoots him 7 times, that's murder. That's nothing else but murder. Now, how somebody gets that you're making an excuse for someone by saying that, I don't know. But I'm really not interested in arguing this morning, because I'm way too hurt by what is going on. So the last thing I want to do is sit up and argue with some people early this morning. And the other thing that I said is that when people get into is this.
Okay. Let me do this. Hold on, Frank. Hold on, hold on, Frank.
Almost like
Frank,
in the military.
Frank, hold on for a second. Let me say.
I
don't think. Hold on.
I'm not
Hold on.
anyone's
Hey,
view.
Christy, hold on. My thing is this right here. I don't think any of us have an interest. I don't think any of us have an interest of getting on here and arguing with anybody on a subject such as this. This is much.
But let's
too,
not
hold on, Frank.
Frank,
hold on, Frank. My thing is this right here. I don't think anyone has any interest or intent to get on here and argue with anybody on a subject as sensitive as this. People are dying.
Correct.
And my thing is this right here. So
correct.
So that, hold on, Frank. Let me finish my thought, bro. My thing is this right here. I agree that we have to talk to each other, but at the same time, we're not talking to each other when we come a different way. We're not doing it's not effective at all. So that's what we
You
need.
broke up. I didn't hear you.
Okay,
You broke up real bad.
my thing is
You broke up. I didn't hear you.
we're not being effective when we're throwing little things out there that's going to ignite somebody to go a different direction. That's not effective either. So what we need to do is talk amongst each other and try to come up with a solution. That's the purpose of this
Correct.
conversation.
I agree with that.
That's
I
the
agree
purpose
with
of
that,
Frank,
Raheem.
Frank,
But I'm
Frank,
not.
Frank,
But
Frank,
to say this,
Frank,
no,
brother, hold on
okay,
now.
but you're
Frank,
saying something
Frank,
is not what we were talking about.
Frank, but and you over talk me. Hold on, brother. That's not what we're gonna do here. My thing is this right here.
Go ahead.
We have to talk to each other and express to it our opinion. It's okay to do that. That's fine. I have no issue with that. But my thing is this right here. To say stuff like, I'm not here to argue and stuff like that. We're gonna leave that alone. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. None of us are here to argue.
I don't have a problem with that, Raheem. But if you say
okay, now you break it
from someone, and then somebody comes right behind that, yeah, it's the line. But then somebody comes right back saying that I'm making excuses for the police department, which is
I didn't say
absolutely not what I said.
No. See, you personalize this. Then you taking this thing way too personal.
Okay. Okay. Well, then I'm wrong. Then.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Christy.
It was other people. I just want to clarify my statement since someone got offended. My statement was to address a lot of things that were said about different things about people, the police officers may have, that there are some good police officers was said, and there was some other things said about those bad police officers, and other people had said. So my comment came as a direct of a summation of everything, how I feel. And I feel as though as people, we give excuses. For example, to me, that's an excuse. If we say that they're untrained, which was someone else has said, that is an excuse. And I'm saying we're giving them excuses because they are still doing things wrong. That is still wrong, whether they're untrained, whether they have mental illnesses, whether they have whatever they got going on. I feel like those are excuses. And my opinion is, as African American people or Black or brown people, we should not give them excuses, making it seem as though it's okay for you to do what you've done because I have a mental illness or I'm untrained. And no, the fact is, you shot someone holding their shirt 7 times. Period. It shouldn't be a comma. It shouldn't be an and, but, if, or whatever. So that's what was it was not to attack anyone's view, but it was just to say that my opinion is it should be a period, not a comma.
And see, and that's what I always say. We all have to have the right, and I encourage everybody to give their opinion, and they can only give their opinion from where they're coming from. My thing is, and I've been saying this from the beginning, we have to learn how to respect everybody's opinion, whether we agree with it or not. We don't always have to agree with what they say, but at the same time, we do have to give them the right, and that's what this platform is for, to give everybody the right to say what they want to say by way of their life experiences. Donald Tucson, are you back with us, brother?
Yeah, man. I left just as quick as I came on.
Yes, I saw. I saw that. We're talking about instant replay. Why do we keep having to relive the same movie over and over and over again with our Black and brown people getting killed by the what's really going on? Tucson?
Man, I don't know. Yeah. Am I here or am I gone?
You're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Yeah, I don't think nobody has that answer. I mean, because even the ones that fear or hate continuously repeat the cycle, and nobody really knows how long this has been going on. But it keep happening. And I don't have my hands up in the air in surrender, or do I give up? But some things I just don't trouble myself with, because I just got to watch my every move.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sound judgment calls. I, if I would allow myself to think that way,
Mm-hmm.
I got a bullseye on my back.
Mm-hmm.
If I allow myself to think that way,
Mm-hmm.
because
No,
it happened to me.
Explain that to me when you see it. If I allow myself to think that way, explain to me what exactly does that mean?
I refuse. I refuse to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to walk around in fear
Mm-hmm.
of what the possibilities are,
Mm-hmm.
because it today may be my day. Because and when that happens, which it did, it come and I'm minding my own business. I'm planning for a good day or ending off the day, picking up my kid from preschool.
Mm-hmm.
I look in my side mirror and the police pull me over for going 3-4 miles over the speed limit. He got his gun drawn. So it depends on what I do. Right then and there, I got to make a conscious decision. What am I going to do next? Got my family in the car. I didn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So what am I going to do? The only thing that I had to do at that point is follow instructions.
Mm-hmm.
What did he tell me to do? Regardless of whether I was guilty or innocent, what did he tell me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands on you behind your neck, and back up towards me. You know what? I made it home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. I mean, we already know what is are.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, because we got families involved.
Don, can I say something to you, Donald? Can I say something to you, Donald?
Sure.
You were very fortunate, because there's a lot of people that follow the law, follow everything they say. Castile, he was in the car with his family, and they asked him for certain things, and he said, and he told the people, I have a weapon in the car. Do you want to get it, or do you want me to get it for you? Blah blah blah. And he was going for his identification, if I remember the story correctly. And he's not here to tell the story now. He's not here to tell the story. Now he complied. He did everything they said to do. He complied, Donald.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I hear you, right? But I'm looking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking. And I'm walking. This is just me now.
Mm-hmm.
And I value everybody's opinion. My opinion is worth as much as what I carry in my back seat.
Mm-hmm.
My pants is just that it worth. That's how valuable it is. What I mean is what I sit down on. That's how valuable my opinion is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man, any man, has a gun drawn on me already, the last thing to me that I want to do is turn my. If he don't tell me that, it is he's walking, I'm walking, and I'm telling him I got a gun. The last thing I want to do is head towards that gun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because of what I know the possibilities are. Because I got a bullseye on my back. You mean to tell me that I'm not trying to make light of the matter, because it didn't make no sense. You got a taser. I'm pretty sure he had a taser.
Mm-hmm.
He could have dropped him right there
Exactly.
before he got to the car with his taser. There were other officers probably. They could have wrestled him down to the ground.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we got too many different scenarios, and it happens over and over again. Why?
Instant replay.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Instant replay.
Instant replay.
Exactly.
So,
Let's go back to the phone line. We got quite a few people that's called in. 678-381-1973. I think we have Cassandra. Cassandra, are you there? Cassandra? I thought we had Cassandra on the line with us. We must have lost her. No, she's still there. We have another call.
Hello.
Yes, Cassandra, good morning. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you guys doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Cassandra, we're talking about instant, and all the callers, hold on. We're going to come to you. We're going to go down the list and go to each and every one of you, so hold on for us. We'll definitely get to you. Cassandra, we're talking about instant replay. Instant replay. Why do we keep reliving the same video over and over and over again where our black and brown people are getting killed by the police officers? Now, the situation that happened in Wisconsin, like I said earlier, he's not dead, but he's paralyzed, from what I understand, from being shot 7 times in the back. Cassandra, instant replay. Why do we keep having to keep reliving the same situation from the very people that's supposed to serve and protect us?
You know, and I'm gonna say this before I say anything else. We may not know the full story, but the bottom line is, why is it necessary to try to kill? And I know they're trained to do that. That if they feel threatened, and I don't know if he felt that threatened that he had to shoot this man. I don't know. His dad said 7 times. Anna said it's not 7 times. So I don't know how many times he was shot. But I don't see where that was necessary. And I have watched, and please y'all research, just do your own research. I have watched multiple videos with white men pointing guns at the police and carrying knives,
yes,
and they were not killed. I don't understand. What is it about our life that they see no value in it?
Mm-hmm.
That's my concern. What makes my life less valuable than anyone else's? And we just have to, I say peaceful protest, and I'm actually on my way right now, so I won't be on very long. I'm going down to the Department of Labor to protest because I haven't received a check since May and have called over 4,000 times and only spoken to 5 people in 4,000 times, and nobody has helped me. So we have a right to protest the things that we feel like people are doing wrong to us. And I don't advocate the violence, but something has to be done. Something has to be done, guys. This is ridiculous. And it's becoming a regular habit. I don't know.
And you're absolutely right. It's becoming a regular habit. And something has to be done because we cannot continue to relive this instant replay over and over and over again.
Over and over again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. How's everybody doing?
Hey, doing good, brother. Doing good, man. What's on your heart? I know you've been listening for a minute. What's on your heart?
Yeah, I got on probably about 15, 20 minutes ago, but man, it's we have 2 things that we refuse to address. The reason why we keep having this instant replay is not because we keep doing the same things over and over, it's because we keep refusing to acknowledge some things that need to be done. There's 2 things that need to be done. Racism, or the practice of it, has to be banned legally and criminalized. And if they can't do that, it's only one other way for you to survive. When you know somebody has a target on your back, and that is to put one back on their back. It's war. From that point forward. And see, now the thing is, I'm not saying you got to go to war with the police, but we do have to accept the fact that man is wicked and mankind is human. Doctors are human. Prosecutors are human. Policemen are human. Just like with the conversation, earlier, people got in their emotions and start taking things personal. That was just 10 minutes ago. Now, if that can happen between 2 black people that's fighting for the same cause, imagine what can happen with just a regular white person that's been bullied all his life or just been misprogrammed since youth to think that he is superior. And that you are 3/5 human. And that this was legally observed. I mean, we ignore all these facts. We see this, we know this, and then we forget it. We forget that black policemen found at a firing range where FBI and other policemen were using black male mug shots as their target practice.
Yes.
And one of the policemen, it was their brother. We forget this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I agree with what Chris said a second ago. When we have these situations, you can't go and start making, I ain't going to say making excuses, but finding understanding for the good cops, because the good cops are what didn't do that to George Floyd. The good cops didn't do that to Baker up in Wisconsin. Those were bad cops. We have to find out how to address them, because they will hide under the shield of good cops if we keep on talking about what good cops have to go through. Yeah, good cops do go through bad situations. They go through unruly citizens. I mean, they have those problems, but those aren't the ones we're talking about. We're talking about the ones that wake up every morning feeling like they're better than black people, that we are still 3/5 human, that they still wish we was in before civil rights days. Those. And when you're speaking of those, there is no understanding. Not even the ones you would give a legitimate cop. They don't deserve that understanding in conversation, because it is always used as defense or deflection for the guilty. And it's not meant to. It's just the opportunity for them to use it. That's in any argument. If you're having any problem in a situation and you're trying to find a solution, the last thing you need to do is start telling people how you understand how it can happen, because those that are doing it will come and use those same excuses.
Good deal. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, everybody. This is Andrea.
Hey, Andrea, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I can only be on here for a few minutes. I started a new job in another city, and it's complicated driving through Atlanta. If you ever drove through it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I know. Believe me. But what's on your heart, sister? What's on your heart? We're talking about instant replay, and we live in the same situation over and over and over again. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
What will be on my heart, due to the situation, we need to, and it's sad to say, but we're going to have to do seminars. We're going to have to train our people, how when the cops come up against you, what you need to do, how to stay alive. And it's very sad. It's very sad. But because we shouldn't have to do this. I mean, they're supposed to protect us, but we're saying that they are the enemy. So we need to get together, and we need to have seminars, and we need to have the good cops, the one who really care to want to make a difference, train our brothers, train our kids the proper way, because a lot of people are getting shot in the back. And please don't take what I'm about to say out of context, because I don't mean it the way it's sounding, but it's a valid point. Make them shoot you in your face. Don't let them shoot you in your back. Don't run. And we need to be trained on how to deal with the fear and the emotions, because your first instinct is to run, because you know your life can be over in a second because of the heart of the person that got the gun. Not the cop. It's an individual thing. It's the heart of the person who has it in their possession. Don't run. Stand there. If they tell you to freeze, put your hands up. You get what I'm saying? Just put your hands up. I mean, don't run, because they're shooting you in your back. So you're not going to get away. If they aim to kill you anyway, and they pretty much got it in their minds anyway, don't let them shoot you in your back. Make them shoot you in your face.
But see, sister, I think I understand what you're saying there. But my thing is, you know, you're still gonna be dead, sister.
Right. So that was my point. If you're still going to be dead, don't give them a reason. You get what I'm saying? Because your first instinct is going to be to run. If they going to shoot you, they going to shoot you anyway. So ain't no use of getting shot in the back.
I hear you. And like I say, my thing is, you kind of took me with that one a little bit. But Frank,
a cop told me.
Huh?
A cop told me, Raheem, he said he was pulled over. And he said he knew that cop wanted to shoot him just by him being black. That's what he told me. And he said he was trying to get me to do different stuff. And he said, I'm not going to move. He said, whatever you want to do, you're going to have to do it, because I am not moving. So the cop, so the one who was holding the gun couldn't do nothing but let him go. And when they ran his tag and his information, they found out that he was a cop, and he got badge numbers. and he turned him in.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So don't move. You get what I'm saying? Just don't move. I mean, I might not have the best answer, but we need to create seminars and we need to get training and we got to do something, right?
Yeah.
They killing us.
Yeah. Yeah. I understand. And like I said, my thing is, I hear your heart in what you're saying. I hear your heart in what you're saying. And you're absolutely right. We're being killed because, man, something have to happen. Something have to happen. Anna, what's on your heart?
First, let's continue praying, that the enemy doesn't try to attack, because that's what the enemy wants. He wants us all arguing, and going this way and that way. I've been listening in very closely, as I heard Christy talking way back then, and I actually shared a video saying this man wasn't shot 7 times, or not shot 7 times, or not shot, or whatever, not something or another. But this guy was fighting a police officer. It's on my page, and I shared it on a private messenger page. You guys are free to view it. How is it that you can beat up the police officer and not get shot? You got to look at these two differences. That man was just walking away. At the same time, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to say, it's getting to the point, and I'm seeing it more and more down my feet. People are tired. They're tired. Mm-hmm. I keep seeing it on posts. I'm about to get weapons. We're going to handle it our way. And that is where none of us wanted to go. Mm-hmm. Everybody's been trying to, I think, at the end of the day, show them their respect, and show law enforcement the respect that they deserve. However, at the same time, it's to the point where, again, people are upset. They're mad. I'm tired of looking at it. I'm like, and I'm the type of person that I really put myself in that person's shoes. What about their family? What about, and when you think about that, you're like, mm-hmm. Wow, this could have been anybody in my family. This could have been anybody I know right here on this phone call, right here watching the show. Sit down, turn around. And the solution, Andrea had awesome solution. Christy has had awesome solution. Toya, I heard her say, Frank, everybody, Donald. Yeah, I agree with Donald in the sense, don't walk away. I wouldn't, I wouldn't turn around. I'd just stand there. I'd cooperate. You have no choice but to cooperate. And I've told you guys before, I had a situation like that. I got pulled over for no reason, simply because of the car I was driving. They thought I was young. They may have thought there was a guy and a girl there in the front seat. And, he pulled me over. He made me get out my car. And that police officer looked at me in a very sexual manner. And it was very, very, very sickening to me. But this is who they are, the bad ones. This is what we deal with. So at this point, like I said, it's getting to the point, and I hate to say it, but I'm seeing it more and more. Read your feeds. They don't care. They're like, I'm going to shoot back. Before I get shot, I'm going to shoot them. And see, this is going to start a war out here, a civil type war. And I think this is what people have been trying to avoid all this time. Why people are just going on protests. I mean, like I say, we can't just stop, because every time we just forgot about George Floyd. And I think I said this a few months ago with here in Georgia, somebody was shot. The video came out 2 to 3 months later. Every time it's like we continue getting outraged, but nothing is changing. Something has to change. And whatever's being done, I'm sorry, our youth, they feel like it's not working anymore. So now we're to the next step. Are we all ready to handle that? Because they don't care. They don't care. Yeah, they got nothing to lose, So something for you guys to think about, that, we should really, I don't even, like, I'm at a loss for words. Like, I look at different countries and never do I see law enforcement act this way. I think it's people, like I said, it starts from the top all the way down to the bottom, that give these people respect that does not need to be given. I will not give a police officer respect. I saw something else on the news. How does your wife die in the back of your car for 4 hours in Miami and you didn't know that your wife was back there and she's stuck because it's the back? What person do you know gets in a whole car, especially because they know and they've been married over 20 years and they all cover each other? It's the truth. And you look at us as a whole, as Latino or brown and black community, and I hate saying Latino because a lot of people get offended by that. We instead of sticking together, we find something to fight about. Let's not fight. Let's stick together and let's talk and come up with a solution. Because, like I said, this youth, they don't care. They're about to start shooting, and that's sad.
Everybody,
and it's going to get worse.
I'm getting some background noise from somebody line. Everybody on mute your line if you're not talking, so we don't get that background noise. Yes, Cassandra.
Right, this Christy.
Oh, Christy, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm about to go, and I want to say this. You know what? It's too many of us dying.
Yes.
And listening to Andrea, it's too many people that do the right thing and still get murdered or still get killed, or you don't know. Like I say, you put your hands on the steering wheel. You don't put your hands on the steering wheel. You put them up. Okay, you get out the car. You don't get out the car. You stand there and he still shoots you in your face, or they still wrestle you and tase you, or you don't stand there, you turn your back and get shot. I don't know what seminar it can be or what education we can have, because even if we do everything and follow everywhere, some make it out, some don't. So it's really hard for me to think of, and that's why I say, I think that's why I grew up Tucson. I don't know what the answer is either, because it's no win. No matter what you do, you just have to, I guess, to pray. Although you can't pray to the good Lord you make it, but that's not the answer I want to give my son. And a lot of times I'm emotional about situations like this, because I think, what if that was my son in his car with my grandkids? And he, instead of, he walks away, not in threat, not in anger, not with no weapon, nothing. And an officer shoots him 7 times. What if that was my son laying on the concrete being suffocated? What if it was my son that was shot just by getting some candy? What if it's my son? And I take it personally because it could be. It could be my son. It could be. And then to see and make excuse. I guess excuse is the wrong word, but to sit and say officers, good, bad, they all stick together. Even the good ones will sit there and cover for the bad ones. You have the good cops that stand there and take it because they don't want to be ostracized by their company or their people or the police officers. So there's a problem. And the problem is so deep and so big because it's been ran so long that I don't know the answer, but the thing is, I'm going to go back to what I said at the beginning. My grandmother always told me, if there's not a consequence for a behavior, it will never stop. Exactly. And so I feel like it has to be some sort of consequence, like Rico said as well. If there's no consequences to a behavior, why would it stop?
That's good.
And with that, child, I got to go. I want all the people that's listening to stay strong. Be strong in yourself. Be God strong. Be Shiva strong. I love y'all, guys. Y'all have a good morning.
Hey, love you as well, sister. God bless you. God bless you. Cornelius, you there?
Sir.
You've been listening to yes, sir. You've been listening to the conversation for a minute, brother. What's on your heart right now? Instant replay. Why?
It's funny. I was laying up here on the couch resting from last night work, and I wasn't gonna call, but I felt in my spirit to pull the call, and I just been thinking about this thing, and I'm gonna start off with this. And me and you talked about this, and you remember me. You was at the mall with your wife.
Yes.
And I called you and I told you about it. And I'm gonna put this out on the airways. And I was at church, and I'm going somewhere with this. So just be patient with me. Just give me a little time here, because I try not to be long-winded, but just please be patient, because this is heavy on my heart.
Go ahead.
I'm at church, and my bishop was doing a wedding. And he told me, all right, go outside and keep a look on the parking lot. Make sure nobody don't park on the grass. Try to direct the traffic to where they need to go. I'm like, yes, sir. So I go out there and do this. So we got 2 young black men outside smoking in front of the church. I asked them, I said, please, just go a half a block down over, but please don't smoke in front of the church, man. At least show it. These 2 young brothers cussed me out, told me to get the F out of their face. And instantly, as a man, I got angry.
Mm-hmm.
But as a man of God, the Holy Spirit kept me in check. And I tried to use wisdom with the brother to talk to him. I said, man, come on, bro. Y'all gonna disrespect me like that in God's house? And y'all gonna disrespect the Lord, man? All I'm asking you is to step a half a block down. Now, why did I bring that up? At one point in time, I wanted to call the police. But wisdom, because of the heightened situation that went down, that's been going on in our society, I had to use wisdom and eat it.
Mm-hmm.
I had to swallow it. And then when I went into the church, the same dude stared me up and down, looked me up and down like, what you gonna do? These are young black men. I said, how you gonna do this to your fellow black man? All I'm asking is respect. Now, because of what's going on, I said, I didn't want to turn a vital situation that at one point in time was it's a good situation. You're having a wedding, a beautiful time in a couple's life. I didn't want to turn that thing crazy. Because at the time, because I knew if I went out there and called the police and did all this stuff, and the stuff could have heightened, it made it worse. Then the first thing would have happened, they'd have been looking at the church, then they'd have been looking at me. Why would he call the police on these guys? You follow me? So in that, it would have been a whole bad situation. So I got irritated with the whole thing. I had to go pray and calm down, but I had to swallow that to say and take it from these guys, because I knew if I did that, it would have been a totally different situation. So why I say that? I go back to what the young lady said when I first chimed in. But I kind of felt bad with what, not bad, but I get what Christy was saying before she hung up. You gotta use wisdom with these cops, but they are killing us out here. They don't care. If you gotta be smart, because they don't care about shooting you. Same thing with my son, man. My son got a double obstructive justice thing on his life because he got into a fight with a cop. And he told himself, and what it was, his friend, and I'm telling him, son, don't hang out with these dudes that you hanging out with, because they bring trouble in your life. He didn't listen. He hanging out with these guys. The guy that he was hanging with got belligerent with the cop. So then he jumps into the fray with the situation, and they out there tussling and fighting with the police. And after that, when it was all said and done with, I asked him, I'm sitting in the courthouse waiting him to give him his sentence. And I heard the cop say this. He said, and these are 2 white cops. He said, I started the tasing, but I thought better of it. And I told my son later down the line, I said, son, with all this stuff going on, do you know you could have been dead that night?
Mm-hmm.
I said, them cops could have shot you. And he said, Dad, you right. And he would have been justified for it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I started fighting him. Because think about it. You put your hands on the police and they looking to kill you, man.
Yeah.
So you gotta use wisdom with this stuff. You can't give them a reason. And I'm sitting by this Jacob thing, man. And I just heard on this morning, I'm looking at CNN News on my YouTube, protesters out there doing what they do. 2 people got killed last night, and 1 got injured. Protesters, people got shot for this stuff, man. The world that we live in, Raheem, and I know, bro, I talk about the spiritual side of this. But the Bible tells us my people perish for the lack of knowledge because they reject it. So when I throw spiritual stuff out there to give us the perspective on what's going on in our society, people reject it because of their prejudice and how they feel in their heart about the situation. And they want to react. And I understand. Believe me, I understand. I've been pulled over by the police as a black man and just walking down the street by a white cop. And I wasn't going nowhere but to the store.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying, man. We and these are the things that we're dealing with in our society, man. We got to use wisdom with these cops, man. We cannot give them a reason, man. Because they're looking for a reason to shoot you and they feel like they're justified. Now, when this dude went to his car, I'm watching the video and he got 3 kids in the car and he went to his car and I'm looking and he bent down, man, and this dude grabbed his shirt and pop, 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 pop. To him and the cops, man, he had his gun drawn to his back while he walking away. That was right there when you supposed to stop. But he had his gun drawn back and he go into his car and the guy shot him. So in the cops, man, oh, you're going for a weapon. So I feel justified to shoot you. We gotta use wisdom with this stuff, man. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm hurt by all this, man. Raheem, I tear up, I pray, and I'm like, God, please help this nation. God, do something. What is going on? And God, and I literally heard last night, man, that this will be the same in this wicked, perverse generation. He said, when spirits go out, when the place is unoccupied, you know the scripture, when it's unoccupied, it's cleaned out, and then when it's not filled, 7 other spirits come worse than it once was before. And he said, these are the signs of this wicked generation. And that's what they were asking. The Pharisees and the scribes was asking Jesus, show me the signs of the time. That's what we living in. These are the signs of the time, man. And when the Spirit of the Lord spoke that to me, I said, well, God, do something. And all I'm hearing people telling us to go out and vote. Okay, man, I'm going to go out and vote. I'm going to vote for whoever I can put in the office. But at the end of the day, Raheem, God is in control because we are living in the end times, bro.
Absolutely.
That's what this is all about.
Good deal.
And I'm sorry to be long-winded, but I'm passionate about this thing too.
Man, it hurts. Man, you talk 45 minutes, man. You just talk 45 minutes, man. I don't know what the world I'm gonna do with you, Cornelius. Man, you sit there, you talk for 45 minutes. No, I'm just picking at you, brother. Good. Hey, good points. Good point. Definitely appreciate you. We have another caller. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Xavier, how you guys doing this morning?
Xavier, what's going on? How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
We're talking about instant replay. Why do we keep having to go over the same video with different people over and over again, where the very people that's supposed to serve and protect us are killing us at a terrible rate? What is the solution, brother? What do we need to do?
Dude, I got jumped on last week on this show when I told y'all what I do with my own kids. There's a reason why I have the conversation with my sons. There's a reason why I tell my sons, if you have a interaction with police, whatever you do, be respectful, shut your mouth, do what they tell you to do. And that is it. If you watch the video, and I get it, from being a father, you know what I'm saying? You got your kids in the car, like I get it. But we have to assume that the officer is in control and that he is trying to de-escalate the situation. We can't move when we want to move. You can't say what you want to say. You can't cuss out the police. You can't walk around cars. I'm not saying it's this young man's fault. What I'm saying is we have to use wisdom in how we carry ourselves. If we're already viewed as a threat, why would I go out there and now do whatever it is that I feel is right? And I know that the man that has the authority to take my freedom, my life, has a gun on me. It's not wise to be doing the stuff that we do. The gentleman that was just speaking before I came on, he asking two young men to move down, just move down the street and get cussed out. Now watch this. If they don't respect him, they don't care nothing about him being black. They don't care about him being a man. They obviously didn't care nothing about a physical building representing Christ. They didn't care anything about that. So he more than likely saved these young men's life by not calling the police, not because the police was looking to hurt them, but because they didn't have respect for the basic things. I teach my kids the way you do anything is the way you do everything. When I sub in these schools, I tell these kids, if you can't respect the teacher, how you gonna respect law enforcement?
Good deal. Good deal.
I train. I do hand-to-hand combat with law enforcement. I teach these guys. Law enforcement they have the authority to move one level above the threat. You don't have anything in your hands. They got pepper spray. They got a taser. They got mace. They got hand-to-hand combat. All that kind of good stuff. You pick up a rock, it can take your life. The next escalation is death. If you put your hands on that officer, they can immediately go to the highest form of a lethal force that they have, which is their firearm. So we have to, I don't know if we got to get into the schools. I don't know, but we have to do something different. So I look at the video and I'm looking at it, and there's been many videos, and it shouldn't be like this. It shouldn't.
And see, and that's my point.
We can't preach what it should be.
Xavier,
we can't preach what it should be.
Yeah.
We got to preach what it is. This is what we're living at. Them folks tell you not to move. You can't move, man. You got to sit down. I know you want to speak. I know you mad.
But Xavier,
I know all this rage is in us.
But Xavier, let me say this to you.
Xavier,
Xavier, let me say this right here, man. And I understand what you're saying, and that's good advice, man. Be still. And that's somebody else said earlier that they're gonna be still. But my thing is this right here: when you have a situation like Castile, he's in a car with his family, and he tell the police officer, "I have a weapon. Do you want to get it, or do you want me to get it? But I do have a weapon." And the next thing that happened is he didn't. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think he did everything that he was supposed to. He acknowledged and told the police officer, "I do have a weapon here. I have a weapon. Do you want to reach across me and get it, or do you want me to hand it to you? What do you want me to do? I do have a weapon." And I guess the verbiage of weapon triggered something in him, and he already had a thing in his mind where if this dude got a gun or something like that, he's gonna blase to me. He told him, "I have a weapon. Do you want to get it?"
He told him that. You gotta watch that video too. Go back and it's a hard video to watch. You got to go back and watch that one too. He did inform him that he had a weapon. He went to reach for his ID.
Yeah.
And the officer hadn't told him to reach for the ID. That's my point.
Wow. Xavier, brother.
Watch the video, guys. It's hard to watch.
Listen to me, Xavier. Listen to me, Xavier. We're not gonna argue. Xavier, listen to me, brother. I can't let you. Xavier,
it's there.
Xavier, I can't let you overtalk. I can't let you overtalk me, brother. Listen to me. My thing is this.
Okay.
My thing is this right here. What I'm hearing, and you clarified and let me know if I'm hearing something wrong. I've been wrong before, might be wrong again before I die. But I'm hearing you making a lot of excuses for the police officers and everything that every position that we put out there. You said this. Well, he reached for his. What was he supposed to do? The man asked him for his ID, and when he comes to the car, they say, "Give me your driver's license, insurance, and proof, and registration, and proof of identity and insurance." Is what they asked. And now you're saying that this man is dead simply because he reached for his registration. Xavier, come on, man. Come on. We're not there, are we?
So see, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know what you're hearing. What I'm telling you is why the situation happened.
So you said because
he excuses for them. Nor did I say they were right. Hold on, bro. I'll let you do yours. I didn't say they were right. I'm telling you why they shot.
No, but they see, and I don't agree with that. And no, yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes,
I'm
I can.
not telling you what's right or wrong.
Xavier,
I'm telling you, looking at the video,
Xavier,
why the man shot.
Xavier, I'm coming to you one more time. Then got to move on, brother. Well, my thing is this right here. No, I do not agree with that. I do not agree with that because
you said what you agree with. I don't agree with it either, but I'm telling you what happened.
But my thing is my thing. It ain't got nothing to do with the video. My thing is I'm looking at the fact that this man is dead.
It's not right.
That's what you're overlooking, Xavier. This man is dead, Xavier.
It ain't right.
Xavier.
Brother, it ain't right. I'm telling you what it is. I'm talking about survival. You talking about what it should be.
No,
I'm telling you what it is.
Let's talk about survival for a second. We're not surviving, brother. That's the point. We're not surviving. That's my very point. You just made my point for me. We're not surviving. We're getting killed, man. Are you realizing the fact that we're getting killed every day by the people that's supposed to serve and protect?
Absolutely.
I don't care nothing about, listen, Xavier. I don't care. I don't care. Xavier,
what the video says.
Let me say this to you, Xavier. Xavier, you're not going to overtalk me, brother. Xavier, you're not going to overtalk. I love you as a brother, but you're not going to overtalk me. I'm not going to let you overtalk me. Okay?
You're emotional with it. I'm okay with that. I don't have problems with being emotional.
It has nothing to do with emotion, brother. What are you talking about? Emotion. It has nothing to do with emotion. I'm trying to get you to understand. These people are getting killed, man.
Yeah, you're right.
And if a person don't have emotions when it comes time to people getting killed, when do you supposed to have emotions?
But if you're not gonna listen, if emotion causes you not to take rational discussion,
it has nothing.
Emotion is not helpful.
It has nothing to do with listening. It has nothing to do with listening.
Not bringing change.
A conversation. Yes.
Raheem, can I add something to this that I think could bring a little clarity?
Go ahead.
I was pulled over a year ago. I told you about this, and I think this is because you guys actually agree. I think
no, we don't.
What the
no, we don't.
Saying.
No, we
don't.
Okay,
wait a minute. Okay, wait.
No, we don't.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me bring this, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
I was pulled over about a year ago, and I told you about it.
Mm-hmm.
Police officer pulled me over 4:00 in the morning. I was headed to work. He gets out of his car on 10.
Mm-hmm.
I recognize he's tight. So I got my hands on the dashboard. I roll down my window. He comes to the passenger side of the car with his pistol drawn.
Okay.
He's screaming.
Mm-hmm.
So he's screaming. So while he's screaming, I'm talking as low as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Put your hands on the dash. I said, officer, my hands on the dash. Don't move. I said, I'm not moving. Now, see, here's the thing in reality. Everything that they say is getting recorded.
Hey, Frank, hold on 1 second. I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody's line. Mute your line. I'm getting a lot of feedback from somebody's line. I don't know who that is. If you're not talking, mute your line for me. Okay, good deal. Go ahead, Frank.
Okay, so everything that they say is getting recorded. So he's setting me up to kill me. So he's saying, don't move. I said, I'm not moving. My hands are on the dash. He said, don't move. I said, I'm not moving. My hands are on the dash. So he's confused now. So now he says, give me your license. I said, officer.
Why is he yelling?
Where you are right now. I said, where you are right now, I'm not putting my hands in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're requesting, but you can take me out of the vehicle. You can search me. You can search my car. Whatever it is you need to do. But right now, I cannot reach for anything because you are too upset.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't move. I said, officer, I'm not moving. My hands are still on the dash. So while he's trying to set me up, I'm making sure I'm saying things loud enough that can be heard on his microphone where he doesn't have an excuse. And what Xavier was just saying is that we have to take that excuse from them because they're trying to set us up so they can kill us.
Mm-hmm.
And that conversation that he had with his sons, all of us need to have with our kids. Now, is it unfair? Absolutely. But it is real.
Mm-hmm.
It is the reality of the day. Now, I want to say this. When we have somebody on the Morning Glow and a young lady begins to talk about being physically abused by her husband, immediately an alarm goes off in my head. Be careful. You know, this is somebody who's either going through something or who's gone through something. Be careful what you say, because right now she's very sensitive about this topic. You get somebody on the phone and they may on the broadcast and they may have just lost a spouse or a loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And they're speaking of this loved one in a loving way, in kind of a way where they're remembering that person. And the alarm goes off in my head. Be careful. They just lost somebody. Be sensitive to that. Watch what you say. Okay, because of where you have to identify with where they're at. Now, I want to identify with this moment when we, as Black men and Black women, watch somebody get gunned down in the street. We're all in our feelings. Each and every last one of us. If you're not in your feelings, if this thing didn't impact you, if it didn't cause you to feel a certain way, if it didn't confuse you, I don't know how you can, because it's so confusing, how you can take in this information without seriously impacting you.
Wrap it up for me, Frank.
So why do I always have to wrap it up? But I'll stop whenever you want to, because other people talk forever. Right. But I am almost at the end. I am almost at the end. Yes, I am very emotional about this. And I said this to you yesterday. I really didn't even want to talk about this because of how hard it hit me, as a man. But I promise you this. We have to be careful because they're setting traps. There was people here that were going into the malls hollering Black Lives Matter and was just firing on white people. That makes it harder for us. There was people yesterday in Washington that went into a restaurant and just started screaming and trying to make the people say, you support her. That's not the way to go about it. We can't fall into a trap. We have to be careful. And with everything we do, we got to understand we shouldn't be confused about what they're doing. They're murderers. We got to accept that. They're murderers out there. But the question is, how do you deal with it?
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Toya. Toya, what's on your heart?
I'm fluent right now.
Cassandra, coming to you next. Go ahead.
I don't know what to say right now, but I see the why. You know what I'm saying? As I listen to the conversation today, it's real simple. It's like, as adults, we're on the phone and I'm listening to everything. And it's like, wow, just to me, it don't sound like we behaving like adults, wanting to overtalk someone, knowing that it's a show, knowing we got to go in a circle. None of us obey all them laws on our own. And this is why another entity got to come in and keep law and order. So as I listen, it's just amazing to me right now, but I get it because I'm human and I'm like that too. But it's like this. When that man turned and walked away to go get to his car, he turned and walked away because he didn't do nothing. And I know you're not going to shoot me. That's why I got shot in the back. You understand what I'm saying? I remember a moment when I was in New York and I was 19 years old. And this boy pulled a gun out on me in my daddy's apartment, told me to get out. And I remember running up on that gun. And when he did not pull the trigger, it was on and piss-opping up in there. Do you hear me? And he got up out my daddy's house. You feel me? So again, I can identify with the amount of anger and the rage when you're not going to do anything to me and it's worth dying for it. And that's what I'm assuming that these men are carrying when they're out there. Again, we talking about Black men. Most of them, let's be 100. Ain't no love and care with these guys. No daddies around to teach them all this, that, and the third. Why we talking about teaching our sons and doing all this, that, and the third? They ain't got that, man. They ain't got that. That's not the point. As a human being, as an officer, if a person do not cause an imminent threat they got to almost, I thought that was the premise behind it. They got to almost need to be trying to kill you as an officer. This is unacceptable because they didn't listen, because they selling cigarettes, because or whatever. No, we know that they use Black men's pictures for target practice. We know they're trained to kill us. We know they've been trained to kill us. We keep trying to, everybody ain't with conforming no more. Everybody don't want to be quiet when the police roll up on them right there when they not doing nothing anymore. These cats, a lot of them is tired of it. Yes, even though They're raising their own insanity because of lack of fathers. It's a whole lot. If we get deep, if we talk on spiritual, it's a whole lot. That wedlock nonsense they were talking about, it's a whole lot. But we need to focus on the question at hand.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
We got KKK operating in the police. We know this, killing us. What do we do to make it stop? You got people out there that say they want to fight. You got people that don't. Who do we roll with? And what do you teach your son? And if you do teach your son to comply, and they get shot, what are you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm glad that people are talking about doing what the police tells us to do. But the reality is, even when they do what the police tells them to do, many of them have been killed.
Thank you.
And like some of the black men on here, I've been stopped for no reason except for the car that I was driving at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And when I asked him in the area that I was in, and it was late at night, it was a ritzy area that my daughter lived in.
Mm-hmm.
And it was 2:00 in the morning. I was coming from an event. And there was no reason. I knew that I had done nothing. But when I passed him heading to my daughter's gated community, immediately the spirit said, he's going to stop you. I said, stop me for what? I haven't done anything.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to stop you. And I had not gone 2 seconds more down the road. And I heard, what? I'm like, what the heck? What is he stopping? So he walks up. He sees I'm a woman. And he says, can I have your license registration? I said, can you tell me what I did, officer? I'm just checking. Checking what, sir? Just give me your license and registration. Mm-hmm. So I handed him my license and my registration. Why did he stop me? To this day, he has not told me why he stopped me.
Exactly.
And the only reason he stopped me was because I was in the nice car going into a gated community, headed for a gated community at 2:00 in the morning. You don't know who I was. You don't know what was going on. So this happens, and you can tell your children, your grandchildren to do and conform or whatever, because I've done it, mm-hmm. and they still will hurt your family members.
Exactly.
And my grandchildren are mm-hmm. afraid. One of them won't even drive now. Mm-hmm. He won't even drive. He got stopped one time. He said, I'm not driving no more. Mm-hmm. So why should we have to be fair because they fear us?
Mm-hmm. And see, and that's my point right there. Even if you do everything, you comply, we're still getting killed. It doesn't matter whether what you do or how you do it. If they got their mindset or idea in their mind, they want to do something to you. It don't matter how much you comply. It don't matter how much you do exactly what it is that they tell you to do. You're still going to die. They still going to shoot you. This young man, like I say, to get shot 7 times. I'm still trying to understand. And hopefully you can help me understand this. Why 7 times? Why shoot an individual in the back 7 times? Help me understand that, Anna. Hit that mute button.
Sorry.
There you go.
There's just no excuse. None. I've tried to, like I said, I can't even fathom myself just standing there, pulling that trigger just once, much less 7 times. There's just no explanation. Like every time I heard it, I would just jump because it's like, how? And then I don't understand. The rest of the officers are just sitting there, like instinct would be, hey, tell them what you're doing is wrong. But I think, I don't know, it's almost like a code that they have that they can't break. They all stick by each other. I want you guys to understand that I do believe that a lot of them have mental issues. They just got lucky and they got a job. And I think there should be more of a mental training towards these officers, period, because it's unacceptable. I mean, I look at it, if anyone has taken the time this morning to look at that video, if you saw the way that man beat up that police officer and did not get shot at all. Meanwhile, I'm looking at a man who's just walking away and got shot 7 times. Mm-hmm. wow. And I can, and I'll go to what Xavier's saying. I can understand where he's coming from, but at this point, our youth does not care. When I tell you guys, I read the post, and I have a daughter who's 22, about to be 23 next month. I have one who's 16, about to be 17 soon. All of their friends are just like, I'm going to take it in my own hands. I'm going to protect myself. When you have your own daughters out of fear of what can happen to them, say, no, I'm getting a gun and I'm going to protect myself because I have to. And these are girls who were raised, or women who were raised Christian, in a Christian household. It's scary. And I fear every day, not only my daughters, my disabled child who is growing up to be a man. He's a teenager now. What if a police officer just turns around and just shoots them because they didn't understand a hand gesture he made? No one thinks about that, the fear that each of us parents with a child like that have to deal with every day. And when I see that stuff on TV and I'm almost in tears, it breaks my heart, because it can be any of our households. It can be any of us on that news saying, I just lost my son. And this is what people don't understand. A lot of times this stuff isn't on the news, but it happens because I'm associated with these groups. I see the links. How can police beat up a person because they have a speech impairment? And that's my son at my household. How is he going to explain to the police, the lights bother me, please shut them down? And this is the reality that every day, every one of us mothers can wake up and not have that son there. I cry for every one of those mothers. I cry for every one of those children, because I'm a daughter and I'm a mother.
Exactly.
And God bless. This is breaking my heart. God bless each and every one of those souls. And I pray for those families every day. That's all.
Amen. 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 Bishop, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? And are you okay?
I'm good, bro. Good morning to everyone.
Instant replay, Bishop. Instant replay. Now, you were in law enforcement. You were in law enforcement for a while, so you know firsthand, how this thing goes down. Explain to me why we have to keep living the same thing over and over again. Why is it that our black and brown people are getting killed as they are?
Because the officers that deal with the individuals, they are walking in fear. And that's the reason that, and it's unfortunate, that a young black man or a black woman loses their life because of the ignorance of an individual that carries a badge that swore to protect and serve, not to shoot and kill. And most people don't understand the fear that runs through a Caucasian's mind when it comes down to a black person. They feel that we're very strong, we're very rebellious. They also perceive us to be ignorant to some degree. And so they don't know how to approach us, and they approach with carefulness and caution. So more so or less, they are afraid. It is a sad thing that happened. I looked at the video footage. To me, being a former police officer and working for 3 different agencies, I'm very familiar with the protocol, and they got to follow protocol. There was no immediate threat. There's a conversation.
Hold on. Okay. You say he did not follow protocol?
The officer didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. He didn't follow protocol. The guy's not, I can't say what, I don't know his track record. I don't know why they had him. He was outside of the car. He got to the car. The guy comes, with the gun and shoots him in the back. If he was a fleeing felon, meaning he had robbed the store, mugged someone, and running, then, okay, you had to see the weapon. There's no justification for the shooting. But I don't want us to walk in fear. I don't want us to walk in fear. And yes, be angry. But you can be angry and demonstrate peacefully without, stirring up a riot, putting buildings on fire, damaging people's property. Then it becomes a crime. And I hate what I'm seeing. I think it was Cornelius who said it, and it is so true. men's hearts fail for fear what's coming on the earth, but we're actually living in what we call the end time. So we need to make sure that we get ourselves really connected with God, so that when this life breath is taken from our body, that when we stand in judgment, we're here and say, well done. So at the end of the day, all that we're dealing with, all we're faced with is what's supposed to be happening. It doesn't sound fair. It doesn't seem fair, but we have to come with a different mindset. And I ain't telling nobody and won't tell anybody, oh, fight. I will tell, stand up for, advocate for, speak out against, but do it in a manner that will receive some attention in a positive way. In a positive way. I don't want negative being responded with negative. Because all you're gonna continue is getting negative, situations or negative effects of what you do. Behind every action would be a reaction. And we do hope that they fire that particular officer. I hope he is prosecuted to the full extent of the law, just like they would do if you as an individual shoot an officer and you put in prison for life, then that's what needs to happen to him.
Absolutely.
I do trust and hope that we pay attention and not, it's a distraction. And pay attention to this. It's a distraction for our life, for what's going on. It really is a distraction. So we got to wake up, pay attention so we can move forward. And I'm through.
Good deal. Let me go to Richard. Are you with us?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's on your heart, brother? Instant replay.
I'm good, brother. All right, I'm good. First off, the young man who got shot up in Wisconsin is one of my friend's nephew.
Wow.
And so I'm familiar with what happened from, seeing what happened in the video, talking to the family. And then, as you know, I work in law enforcement as well. And I'm going to say this, listening to everybody brought something correct and true to what we're talking about. The lady who was crying, like I have a special needs child too, and I worry about certain things because I know that they are scary. The bottom line, it's not so much that police are scared of black people, it's white people are scared of black people. And if you have, it's cultural. It's in our culture. It's in our culture. We black men, we are some big bad monsters, and that is what they believe. Now they may not be openly racist, burning crosses, but this is something that is ingrained in our culture since slavery, that we are to be feared. All right. So that is something we have to understand. I drive around, like right now, I got a gun, a taser, cuffs, everything on me. I'm in my personal vehicle though. I've been pulled over in my personal vehicle with this stuff on me. Okay. And you know what I do? I'm more terrified when I got it on me than when I don't. Because what I'm afraid of is if an officer comes up and he ain't ran my plates yet, it don't come back law enforcement or gang intelligence. He'll walk up to the car and he'll look. He sees my black face and he sees that gun before he sees my badge. What do you think's gonna happen? You understand what I'm saying? So I understand the fear that people have, but your young people talking about we gonna fight. I'm gonna tell you how that's gonna end up. All right, it's gonna end up with a lot of dead young people. And ultimately, because culture sees black people as the enemy anyway, I don't care how many NFL teams about Black Lives Matter. At the end of the day, the majority white population fears us more than they fear the police, period. So they're always going to go on the side of law enforcement. All this rioting up in Kenosha right now, all right, this state, in the big picture, this state's a swing state. We got to win one of these swing states for Trump to lose. But guess what? I guarantee you he wins that state. And this is part of the reason why. Because their fear of us is more than their concern about our well-being or their fear of the police. In fact, they don't fear the police. You understand what I'm saying? Because they don't have that cultural fear. We have to teach our black boys to be very careful when they get pulled over. Don't say nothing. We have to do that. That's a fact. All right. And even then, like you said, it still can end up with a bad outcome. Now, the young man there, the cops, here's what I don't understand. They were fighting with him before he got up. All right. They were actually physically fighting with him. Supposedly he had a knife. The family says they believe he might have had a knife. They're not sure. All right. Some people said that he said, I'm going to the car to get my strap. All right. Now, I don't know if he said that. That'd be something I don't think anybody would rightfully say with police officer pointing guns at you, but you don't know people in that situation. So if he's saying I'm going to get my strap and he reaches in the car, of course they're going to shoot. Now, here's my thing. One, it should never even got to that point. If you subdue them, be done with it. I don't know what they're training these police to do.
Exactly.
All right. I've had to subdue people bigger than me many times, and it goes pretty dang quick. And if he's really bigger than me, then I'm gonna chop him down. I'm gonna spread the OC spray, give him a little in the face, and now I'm gonna deal with the situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these scary police is doing, why they can't subdue one person. All right. Then to top it off, when he goes to the car, he should. I don't believe he said he was going for a gun, because if you say I'm going for a gun, I'm stopping you before you get to your vehicle.
Exactly.
Because he was casually walking to the vehicle. So I think they're lying about that. But in any case, there is no reason they should have shot him in the back. The bishop was right. You can only shoot I can only shoot a person fleeing the dang prison. All right. Or if I see them fleeing a murder or a rape with the weapon in their hand, I can shoot them. So there was no justification. But that fear of the black man, that's why they shot him. So it's bigger than the police. It's the fear of black males. So the only thing we can do.
Richard, let me say this to you. So it didn't matter. It didn't or it doesn't matter whether he complied or not. They were just gonna shoot him. That was gonna be the outcome.
In that case, if he had complied before he went to that car, I don't think he would have got shot. Okay, but I think that they were in fear of what he was going to get, whether he said anything or not. Because we black men, we all got guns in the car. That's what we do. I mean, if you watch TV and the rap videos and power, this is where white people get their informed, because Kenosha don't got that many black people. So white people get this informed opinion on us that's based on media. So we all, if I'm a young black man, I'm thinking you got a gun in the car. I don't care if you got 3 kids in the car. I don't care if it's a minivan. You black, you got a gun. That's an assumption. That's a belief out of that same fear that they have about black men. All of us is either portrayed, like I said last night, we portrayed as gangbangers or we portrayed as gay. That's only two. The left wants to portray us as people walking around in skirts, and the right wants to portray us all as gangbangers. All right, at least in their mind, that's what they see. Especially young black men like that. So the young man is walking to his car. These officers still in fear. I know it's a Christian, so I can't call them what I want to call them, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That you know what I would say. Right? I can't say it, but they're scary. You're scary, but you don't even need to be on the job. Exactly. You don't need to be on the job. And that's what needs to change in the hiring.
Now let me say this, Richard. Let me say this, Richard. I gotta move on to a couple other people. But let me ask you this question. If you had an opportunity, to speak to that officer that shot the man 7 times in the back, what would you say officer to him?
Oh, I can't say what I say.
Okay.
But I'll say what I would say. I'll say it in Her Majesty's.
Okay.
I would say, okay. I would say you don't need to be a police officer. You never should have been a police officer. Because one, you don't have a spirit of service or protecting in your mind. That's the only reason why you should become a cop, because you want to serve and protect the community that you're part of.
Exactly.
All right. 2, you need to quit. You need to be jailed. All right. You need to quit, be jailed, be fired, whatever. But the fact is, I would use him as an example of what not to hire. What not to hire. Don't hire scary people. Don't hire people who don't want to serve their community. If you want to be a tough guy, this ain't the job for you. If you think you want to get back when you was bullied in high school, this ain't the job for you. All right. And in fact, all police officers should have at the minimum a bachelor's degree in a social science. Why social science? Because that means they're taking the time to understand something about people.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
And they can get more training at the academy about how to de-escalate situation without going for your lethal resource. And if you're scared of black people, if you're scared of black people, we have a class for you where we can teach you how not to be so dang afraid.
Exactly.
All right. Honestly, I know that sounds ignorant, but there should be a month-long class in every police academy to say, this is how you deal with people that you're scared of.
Yeah.
All right. And if you're too scared, you don't need the job. Go work at the post office.
Hold right there, Rich. Now, stay right there. I want to pull a few more people here. Right now I'm gonna go to Charity. Rico coming to you next. So Rico, be on standby. Charity, what's on your heart? Charity, are you there? Okay, Charity must be away from her phone for a minute. Rico, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart?
Had to get off mute for a second, man. Man, it's so many topics I want to hit, man. I ain't gonna even lie. I got quite frustrated a couple of times on this conversation because we still don't understand the way we use words. And then sometimes the way we use words gives these deadly people excuses. It sounds like we're giving them excuses, even though we don't mean to. Some of that stuff ain't got nothing to do with no fear. It got to do with hate. They've been doing this. They've been doing this to us since we got here, and it didn't have nothing to do with fear. It had to do with hate and white privilege. Now, in some cases, it might have to do with fear. But when we speak for those that are doing it in fear, those that are using it for hate and privilege use fear as an excuse. We got to quit addressing those that got a legitimate excuse and address those that don't have an excuse. Okay, I don't mean to call nobody out, but Xavier said that earlier about the guy that shot Philando Castile. He said the biggest mistake Philando made was reaching for his license. He said the guy was fearful. That was a fact. That wasn't a fact. Don't nobody know. Because based off of his Facebook pictures, he probably had a proclivity to do that. He was already had a predisposition. He didn't nobody say that he was scared. He didn't say he was scared. He could have just did it because he wanted to kill a nigga. Don't nobody know that. But we automatically assume that it was fear. Don't nobody know that. He didn't say, and if he did say that, what's to say that he's telling the truth? Okay. In Virginia, it was some cops got fired for text messages during right after George Floyd got killed. They ready to get their ARs and pick off some niggas. That wasn't fear. He wasn't even in danger. He wasn't going through nothing with nobody. He had a predisposition to go and take his white privilege and that badge and knock our head off. And then we got people that still come back and come up with excuses. Now, okay, sometimes we need to comply. Well, it's people been in the back of police cars, handcuffed, and shot in the back of their head, and it was called a suicide. But we forget that. You get what I'm saying? We forget that.
Yeah.
Why is it that we have to understand, that sometimes the police are justified in what they do. Sometimes we understand that the black people do provoke it. But we do have to understand this situation we're talking about, this sort of going back to what Anna said. This is not all our problem. This is what we're talking about is not all our problem. This repetitive thing, this instant replay we keep seeing is our problem, the black problem. You know what I'm saying? This is a situation going on with us, and we need people to address that if they're going to help us, because we still keep having instant replays. You know, I'm trying to understand, why is it that if a regular murderer, thief, intruder breaks into our house or starts something with our children, our wives, or our significant others, mothers, fathers, we'll protect them. But then we will fall for the brainwashing of a uniform and a badge and allow a murderer to do what he do, and we just sit back and watch and complain for 50 years. I'm trying to keep him cussing, y'all. I'm about to lose. Ooh! I'm about to
You're
lose.
doing good, brother. You're doing good.
I'm about to lose it. So, I mean, it's like we got to wake up, man. It's like Christian said, it's just straight to the point. It ain't no more time to just keep on trying to come up with different scenarios. We could tell story after story. We could tell our own stories. Some of them going to be in defense for the police. Some of them going to have us in the wrong, and some of it going to have us completely innocent. And when we are completely innocent, that's what we need to talk about. Because those people still don't have a leg to stand on when they comply.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Exactly. Frank, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Making my way around everybody. Frank, what's on your heart?
One thing the officer said that I hope everybody hear, and it was a lesson that I learned earlier on in life. This war that we're talking about, we're not ready for. You don't understand the control that the people that we say we're willing to go to war with have over our cities. I saw it in the 67 riot, how they shut down our cities, and the only thing we did was burn down our own property. When I was growing up, all of the businesses that were on the corners of my block were all black owned. We burned them all down, man.
We burned down Black-owned businesses. We burned down our own property. And all they did was fence us in. We didn't have a chance to get out to the suburbs to do anything. And if you did get out there, you weren't going to make it back. So what the officer said and what Xavier said and what a few other people said, it is, you got to understand, man, that we all understand that what is happening is wrong. But what you have to be is strategic. You know, my middle son was terrified of dogs. So I spent a summer breaking him of that fear. And I got a new puppy. I was walking my puppy, and this pit bull. I had my puppy, and one of my other boys had my wife's dog, 2 small dogs at the time. This pit bull broke through the fence, came directly at us. This dog had to be about 140 pounds, huge. And I had all of my kids with me and these 2 little dogs. I said, get behind me. They all got behind me. The dog ran up. I hollered at the dog. Get back in that yard. Man, thank God that dog ran back across the street. Because it could have got ugly.
Yeah.
You know, my kids could have watched that dog tear that puppy apart. But the thing is that my son complied with what it was that I taught him. And that's what saved him. So, you know, it's, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut up, Raheem. Now, when we talk about what do we do, when you have somebody like the sheriff, I believe he was in Alabama, where this guy was so heinous in what he was doing, they banned him from going to the mall because he was a pedophile.
Moore.
And he was picking up young girls.
Yeah, a guy named Moore.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing that we have to do is, as we are dealing with this, we have to get rid of the problems and we have to vote them out. That cat was in office forever. I think it was just a few years ago. They tried to get him in the White House. And he stopped being the sheriff. We have to have laser focus and get rid of these people and put people in place that actually want to help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Richard, I know he had to take off. He wanted to say something. After that, I'm going to Xavier, then I'm coming to Cassandra. Richard, what's on your heart? Richard, you there? Okay. Let's go to Xavier. What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
You know, 5 years ago, my oldest son graduated high school, went to live with his mom, and about 2 months after he went to live with his mom, he got in trouble with law enforcement. He got in a fight with a young man over a female. Went in, kicked in the door, fought the guy, all that kind of shit. Police were called because everybody ran out of the house. He was the only person in the house. He was upstairs hiding in a closet. I got a phone call 2 days later saying he was in jail. I didn't understand the situation until I read the police report. Police report read like a scary novel. Guns drawn. They walk into a house. It's dark. Nobody's responding. They're saying, come out with your hands up. Nobody responds in the house. They clear downstairs. They go up the stairs, clear one bedroom, go into another bedroom, still saying, come out with your hands up. And they hear a ruffle in the closet. They open the closet door. My son is in a corner. They give him commands, guns drawn, stand up, turn, all the things to come out and, you know, get arrested, go to jail. And I'm cautious, you know, when I share my backstory, because we all have it, right? My son is with me today because he did what they asked him to do. I'm not saying that they were right. He was definitely wrong. He broke the law. It's been said earlier that, yes, there are situations where crimes they're happening against us and it's regular. The unfortunate thing with this particular conversation today, and I'm trying to keep my cool because the old Xavier want to come out and check some folk. but I hear the condescending comments about me being a dad and what I teach my sons about America. But yet, we're the first ones to hop up and holler about dads are not in the home. And what's the solution? And what's the answer? And some of you jokers got the audacity to sit and make comments, condescending statements about a dad doing what he's supposed to do. Are y'all crazy?
Hold on.
Our young men are dying.
Hold on, Rico.
Our young men are dying, and y'all are condescending about what dads do with their sons. This is how we stop the situation. This is how we stop it. We don't stop it by coming back, making sly comments about, well, this is what you teach your son, but this is still happening. This is how we stop it. By parenting. By doing what we're supposed to do. It's not a blanket statement. It's not going to stop all of it.
Okay,
but
now
we got to start somewhere.
Xavier,
and we can't criticize those that do.
Xavier, calm yourself down, brother.
I'm done, bro.
Yeah, calm yourself down, brother.
I'm calm. I'm doing the same thing you were doing, and everybody else. Okay. I'm done.
But my thing is this right here. We're not gonna get on here and go into name calling people crazy and stupid. No, we're not gonna do that, brother. That's not what we do here. That's not what we do. Let me go to Cassandra.
That's fine. My apologies. Okay. Amen.
Cassandra, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I told you, I'm right now in front of the Department of Labor by myself protesting. So, but this is my issue. We are attacking each other when we are not the problem with each other.
Yes.
The problem that we're talking about right now is not about something going on with each other so much. It's about what is happening to us as a people. So it calls for us that we can disagree, because I disagree with plenty folk on here, plenty times. Y'all know that. But the bottom line is, what is our focus? The center of our focus is the fact that we have to figure out how the hell we are going to stop our people from being killed. The way that they're being killed, under the circumstances that they're being killed, and somebody has to stand up and say, enough is enough. We can get mad at these young kids and say, oh, a bunch of y'all gonna get killed, or whatever you want to say. But these kids are not us. They're not my grandmother. They're not my mother. They are not going to put up with the same stuff, and they just showing that. Do I agree with the riot thing? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I don't believe that destroying property is the way to do it. I believe it's a couple of things we can do. The first one is vote so that we can get reform in a lot of these different local level stuff. We can get some of these people that are in the local level that's going along are not trying to change the laws and the rules that are governing the police department and other entities. But it's not, the fight is not with you. My fight is not with Xavier. My fight is not with Frank, with Rico. That's not who my fight is with. My fight is with the people that are killing our people. Our people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go to Rico. What's on your heart, brother?
Man, she said what I want to say, man. Y'all gotta excuse me, man. I'm not the best with words. I can't express myself the way I want to, the way I think. And then what comes out when I start talking is totally different. They all start jumbling around together, just dancing. But she hit it on the head. The problem is solving the situation like yesterday. It is a lot of different ways to address it. But sometimes it's not enough of what we can do in our household to prevent it, no matter what we teach. We've been seeing this. And so, and y'all got to excuse me too, I'm going up the hill. We just have to find a way to unite. Find a way to unite and fight for the common cause.
Exactly.
Like I said, we already know that all the cops aren't guilty. We know all cops aren't bad. But we also do know that that uniform and that shield don't make them angels. It don't make them truthful. It don't make everything they say right. It don't make honest. And it definitely doesn't make them
take their racism out their heart, hate or whatever agenda they have. They are the same person once they put that shield on, and put that uniform on.
Exactly.
And go ahead, just go for you.
I got you. Anna, what's on your heart, Anna?
I hear your passion, and I think we're all, Xavier, I hear his pain. I think we're all on the same page, just our passion is so deep, for what can happen or what we've experienced or what we could have happened to a loved one or our child. I mean, it is something that I don't know. Like I said, for me, this is just something really hard. Every time I look at it, it's getting to the point where I'm fearing. I'm teaching my son. I've called the local police department. I've asked them what kind of training do they have? Is this every single officer? Because I don't ever know what can happen. And much worse, again, like I say, a man to turn around, give you his back, and still get shot. I mean, I just don't get it. And I know that when he woke up that morning, he didn't think to himself, today I will get shot 7 times. And it's something that we've got to consider. I don't know. It's like, I heard the police officer. I wish every police officer was like him. You listen to all this stuff, you listen to all these different points of views, and it's like, what can we do? Because to me, it seems like if you walk away, it's a problem. If you stand there, it's a problem. If you anything that you do, if you reply, it's a problem. They yell harder. I like what Frank said, and I really, it's something that I'm probably going to teach my children. Speak louder. Say to the officer, no, I'm doing this, so that maybe that video camera or that sound in that video camera protects you is the only thing I can think of, because that, or what the youth is doing, they don't care anymore. I agree with Cassandra, and I read it all the time. They don't care. They're turning into radicals. They're like, we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our children that are coming up. So can you just imagine the next generation? Is just something for each and every one of you guys to think about and consider. How are we going to change this? How are we going to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen generations to come? Because I almost feel like it's like in their training. Okay, if a black man, and I'll say many, and I'll say, when I say many, I'll say the Hispanics that have that different type of personality, outgoing, strong personality, and do not cooperate. What are you going to do then? You're going to shoot them as well and continue shooting them, continue shooting our men, our children. Like I said, I just read an article for 7 minutes, I believe it was. They choked this Hispanic guy on the floor in a different state. And the guy was killed because he had mental issues. Now, how can you not be trained to look at things like that? Or one of the officers that was on that call to think, oh, okay, I remember this from training. This person might have a mental issue. Let's help them. Let's not kill them. Again, look at the video on my page. This person beat up a police officer. I shared it on our chat. Beat up a police officer, and that was okay. He lived another day to at least be in jail, or because I can imagine that was battery on a law enforcement officer, whatever charges they gave him. So we've got to think that's the reality we live in, Raheem. So and like I said, I pray for each and every one of our children. I pray for each and every black and brown man in America. And I pray for anybody with a disability that might be mistaken, because I live that reality every day in my household. That's
Absolutely. All. Absolutely. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning, Curtis?
Morning, family. Morning. I apologize.
No.
Up really late last night. I had to go down to the emergency room, man. Really good friend of mine's lost his child last night. So I went down and sat with him for a while outside the emergency room.
Wow.
I'm praying for him, man.
Absolutely. We all are, brother.
But so what's going on, bro?
Well, we're talking about instant replay, and why do we have to keep replaying the same movie over and over again with black and brown people being killed by the very people that's supposed to serve and protect us? Now, we know what happened in Wisconsin. Now, this brother, he didn't die, but he was shot 7 times. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the back. Kurt, how do we stop this movie, brother?
Well, number one, that we got. Here's what I think. Here's what I think, shot.
Are you talking directly to your phone, Kurt? You're a little bit low, brother. You're a little bit low.
Here's what I think should happen.
Mm-hmm.
One, we have to move past this ideology of there's a belief out there. Well, if you ain't doing nothing, there's no need for the police to be bothering you. There's a real strong belief out there with that.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Kurt.
Man, because I'm trying to process this thing, and I've been trying to process this thing for the last couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep coming back to the same thing, and I'm asking God, like, God, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you know, just here in Maryland, you know, police got ambushed and killed.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't help but say, I can't skirt around it. Like, if that's the battle that you create,
mm-hmm.
then that's the battle that you're gonna get.
Yes.
You know, people ain't just disrespectful to police for just blatantly no reason. We have all been taught as we children to respect the police. But what has happened is over years, that respect has been taken back due to the fact that there are things that these police have been doing in these communities that just don't line up. That it don't line up with the oath and the creed that you took as an officer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm reminded when we talk about this situation. I'm reminded of a time that I met Frank, and I remember Frank telling us, sitting around that table, that his blatant disregard for police, it had a cause and it had an effect. And I remember him telling the story of the police, North Carolina, Greensboro, pulling up to the house and snatching his cousin.
Mm-hmm.
Putting a double-barrel shotgun in his mouth, breaking his teeth, and then squeeze the trigger right in front of all of them. So when you look at the pattern of behavior, how can you not understand that there's going to be some resistance to that pattern of behavior?
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good.
And I watched the like while I was working yesterday evening, I listened to parts of the convention, and man, these people are just living a complete
Nah, like I don't understand it, bro. I don't
wrap it up for me, Kurt.
I don't understand it. I don't understand. I'm done, right? I don't understand it.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Let me go. We're gonna go on this order right here. We're gonna go to Cornelius. Cornelius, you still with us?
Yeah, man. I've been with you for a while, bro.
Hey, man, we got we got about 20 people and trying to rotate, get them all in, brother. You know, sometimes it take a minute. I apologize for that. But what's on your heart? And I'm gonna tell you, after that, we're going to Toya, Bishop, then we're going back to Cassandra.
Okay. I'm gonna try to be real quick because I want to give people their respect, and also I still want to again go back and give Kurt and tell Kurt thank you for yielding the floor to me last night. I didn't mean no disrespect on what we was talking about because I just had to get that off my heart and get back to work. So I appreciate you, man, for doing that. Let me just say this. Let me say this, man. And I've been listening, trying to listen to see where everyone going. And a lot of folks are passionate about this. And I get it because I am too. And my heart aches as well. But I haven't heard the spiritual side of it and recognizing what it is. And I get it because people don't want to talk spiritual. They want to feel natural about this because they want their flesh and all this stuff to go down the way it is. So at times you want to retaliate as a black man. You want to get back even because of what people do. And you want to do all these things. You want that hate in your heart. You want this unforgiveness because people are hurting your people. But at the end of the day, we can't have that because we can't look at the people. Because I guarantee you, it's just like in all this, even with people in church. Let's switch it to the church. If a pastor do something wrong, folks will link every pastor and say all pastors is crooked because this one pastor or two pastors done did something. That's our mindset. That's the prejudice way of thinking in our society. So if one cop kill another one, kill another black man, then it keep happening. So all of a sudden we get to the point that we want to say all cops is bad, but we turn around and say, man, but it is some good cops, but in our heart we don't trust none of them. So then what we want to do is retaliate on cops. Because cops got families to go home too. You know me? So that is the society that we're living in today. People in the spiritual side of this is individuals that's operating under things that's causing them to act this way. And I'm not trying to give no excuse. I'm just trying to give a clear perspective on the spiritual side of this thing. And that is, we got to recognize, man, that this is hate operating in our society. And think about it, Raheem. Remember when the coronavirus first hit, people were running to the gun shops. Folks started running to the gun shops first and then to the stores. Look what's happening. See the signs. See how it's setting up for what's to come. And that's where I'm at with that, man. And that's why I just continue to pray and hope for the best for my family, talk wisdom. And I come on this show to give a spiritual insight. I come on your shows to give these things to what I know that God is showing to me to try to help give a clarity so we don't focus the hate on each other, but focus the hate on the enemy. That's spiritual. And that's where I'm at with that. And if I can't do that part, I'd rather not even call in no more. I'd rather just shut it down and say, you know what, God, deal with it. They ain't trying to hear what you're talking about. So I just say, I won't even call in. I love my man Raheem and shut this whole thing down and stop calling into the show. Because nobody ain't trying to hear that. They want to operate on how they feel and prejudice. And that's just my take, man. Goodbye. I'm out.
Good Lord, boy. Did you drop the mic, brother? Toya, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
What?
That was rude. I don't do that. Normally when you hang up on me, I don't talk to you no more. But okay. But no, I mean, you know what? This is just conversation, you know what I'm saying? And I thought that was kind of the point of our show, is that we could, you know what I'm saying, say whatever was on our heart and no one take it personal. Understand that we're talking at this from a view. See, all of us got our thing going on with God. That's why we a body. And it hits all of us passionately in different ways, and we're gonna be passionate about it in different ways and different perspectives. And I thought like that's what we bring to the table. So you know, I'm like floored that like we're getting this emotional about other people's loved ones who aren't here. Our loved ones are home. We're not the ones at the front of the cover of the news talking about our loved ones that just got lost in flames to this. So for us to be emotional, it's like, I hope we done sent more than condolences out to this family if we take it that personal. No, this is, if God gonna use this, we're talking about truth, and this is everybody's truth, and we're giving everybody an opportunity to express their truths without feeling no kind of way, to feel like they gotta like fold up because what's going on is not right. We're talking about unarmed Black men, the whole world. It ain't just us. Because what they're doing as human beings walking around in police uniforms are not right. You know, the situations and circumstances. George Floyd, he did comply. He got a knee on his neck. I thought George Floyd complied. I thought he did everything he said he was going to do. He's in handcuffs. He had him on the ground. You know what I'm
Face
saying?
down.
So it's
Face
just like
down.
this is a time for conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's a conversation. Everybody get it out. But come on, y'all, don't take it personal. We get this out of our chest. We put it on the side, and then we come up with ways and clubs and organizations to combat. This is what they do. They sit back and take surveys about how people feel. And they gather it and collect it, and then they make movement on there to do initiatives or whatever it is they do. We just need to do the same thing. But I think it was a great conversation today, y'all. Keep it up. Nobody get offended because it's all in love.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me go. We got another caller just called in. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Grace Berry Canton in Houston, Florida, and this is my first time tuning in on your morning show, and I was just trying to listen to see what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, what we're talking about is today is our topic is instant replay. Instant replay. How many times do we have to? How many times do we watch the same thing that's happening to Black and brown individuals being shot and killed by the police officers? We're talking about the young man also in Wisconsin. Now he was not killed, but he was shot seven times in the back in his car in front of his kids. So we're asking the question: why do we have to keep replaying this movie?
I don't know. It's deep rooted. It's something we have to work on and to communicate, to listen, to come to a reasoning, to understand, and to regard what each side says. So it simply has to. There has to be a meeting, so to speak, of minds, and the purpose in that is to resolve issues that do not escalate to things like this.
That's good. Grace, tell everybody where you're calling from. What state are you calling from?
I'm calling from Florida, Houston, Florida.
There you go. There you go. Good deal. Anna just a smiling. But listen, let's keep this thing going. We got a few more minutes before we get out of here. Let me go to Bishop. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, I want to touch base on a few things. First thing I want to do, Cornelius worked last night, and so therefore he had to get off the phone. He said, peace out, you know. Yeah, he dropped the mic, but he was getting off the phone, so he can go get himself some rest.
Yeah.
Secondarily,
he just texted me. He just texted me. Yeah, he said, man, he'd have had to leave like that, man. He said, but I'm tired, man. I had to go and lay it down, man, because you got to go back to work tonight.
Yeah.
You know, work them 12-hour shifts.
I know he works at night. I used to work at that graveyard shift, so I know exactly. We want to be involved, but then, hey, man, I got to go. We got to get his rest. So I don't think you took offense to it, neither do I.
Oh no.
And I just wanted to defend the brother. I think as it relates to the conversation at hand, is evidence, brother, that we are living in the time that the Bible refers to as the last day. Luke said this best: men's hearts are failing for fear of what's coming on the earth. We have a right to our opinion. I don't take offense to what anyone says or the way they say it. Everybody's passionate about what we're dealing with.
Never.
And one thing about it, you'll bring it in, you'll reel it in if it gets somewhere out of hand. And that's one thing I really appreciate about you being a great host on DKM Media.
Praise
and
God.
I appreciate the topics that you bring up with, because we do really have to face the reality of what is. I'm an old school kind of guy. But I don't believe that we as Christians should just stay within the four walls of the church. We talk about what's going on in the church, but then we get out here and we see what's going on in the masses. We keep our mouth closed. I think this is a platform for everyone that professes to be a Christian, child of God, a servant of God, to now really speak up and speak out and try to convey a message of hope. Because regardless to what takes place, we got to look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I can fuss all day. I can cuss all night. I can do whatever. But if you don't get up and speak out, but do it in a manner that don't bring negative attention to us by looting and rioting, then I think we can get things done really good without injecting the fear that different officers may have as it relates to men and women of color.
Exactly.
So we got to think wisely. I think Frank said something along this line, and I have to agree with him. We got to think better. And yes, things happen, but our actions bring about a reaction. So put your hands up, get on the ground, stop fussing and cussing. Don't give them no reason to shoot, even though we didn't give them a reason to stop. Don't give them a reason to try to justify their harm on us. And I, as a police officer, I've been pulled over. I was stereotyped. I drive a Mercedes-Benz. And what this dude doing driving a Mercedes-Benz, that's what I paid for.
Yeah.
That's what I want to drive. Coach, you can only drive a Ford pickup. That's your problem, not mine. Or you drive what you want. This is what I want.
Yeah.
Don't judge me by what I drive and think I'm a drug dealer.
Exactly.
It's the mindset. So let's continue having these dialogues, Raheem. Let's continue talking about what we're dealing with in our community, and let the church people stand up, speak up, and speak out. Do it in a holy manner, a manner that can be received properly, and encourage our young men and women not to act the fool when the fools, now I say it plainly, when the fools pull us over in the car that had the blue light.
Good deal. Good deal. We're gonna keep this thing. We're gonna keep this thing going. But let me say this before we go any further, man. Just in case anybody that's listening to this broadcast today got a bad idea about what is going on the Morning Glow or anything on DKM Media Group, man, we all family. Man, I love each and every one of y'all, man. We all family. And just like a family, you're not gonna always agree with everything that your family members say. Sometimes the conversation might get a little to the left just a little bit, but it's never out of malice. It's never out of hate or nothing like that. It's all out of love. We love each other here. We are all family. And that's the only way we'll have it. We won't have it no other way. And if it ever changes, we need to pull the plug, turn the lights off, and go on about our business. All of us. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
First, let me know. I'm gonna let people know when I say I'm frustrated. I'm not frustrated with anybody's opinions or anything like that, because everything everybody said on here today is true in certain aspects, and all these different realities that we've experienced the past 10 or 20 years with police and justice towards black people. My frustration is because I've heard it so many times, but I have to sit back and regress on that, because some people still do need to hear that. Some of this young generation doesn't hear what Xavier has to tell his son. So, I do agree that those are some truths. My frustration is that we still need to hear something different. We need to hear also, not a but, because I'm not discounting anything anybody says, because they are true. But we need to come up with more preventive measures, because we are talking about stopping a cycle. We are talking about an instant replay. And some of these opinions are instant replays.
Yeah.
But we need to do something different. My thing is this right here. It's 2020. We talk about government, we talk about politics, and we still ignore the fact that we can create legislation to deter. I mean, anytime you want somebody to stop doing something, or they're hurting you, you want them to stop.
you create a deterrent or a consequence. So I mean, you know, it gets to a point where is only one thing. There's two things left to do. The first thing we can do is start becoming rebellious in our communities and arm everybody and organize and start creating preventive measures to stop bad cops when they go rogue on the spot. We can do that, a community organization, or we can go to our legislators, get our white and our brown brothers and sisters to focus on what we're talking about and create legislation to create a deterrent, a consequence, a punishment for racist hate crimes. That will leave a door open for good cops to report rogue cops. You won't have to worry about text messages between cops talking about killing black people and thinking nobody knows about it. They will be afraid to use that privilege and that power because there's a consequence behind it. We do not have any deterrence or consequences in law to stop policemen. They have a license to kill, and then they got a code of conduct amongst each other to defend each other, that thin blue line. All of these codes and all of these tactics and stuff that they use, these policies amongst each other to protect each other. We don't break that down, and we know they exist. Let's go wholeheartedly and go to criminalize these people and these actions.
Good deal. Good deal. I'm gonna touch a few more people before we get out of here, man. It's at 52 right now. So everybody give me your quick version of your answers because I want to go around and touch everybody. We're gonna do it in this area. First we're gonna go to Donald, Anna, and then we're gonna go to Xavier. Donald, what's on your heart?
You see why I let my words be few?
Yes, sir.
Especially when you really don't know what to say, what the answer to be. The worst thing we can do, and I'm just about that, is come out of this divide. Because that's how they conquer, separate. We fall for the okie doke. Thank you that.
Good deal. Good deal. And doing that, it ain't worth $5 worth of dead dog meat. Ain't that how you say it?
Dead dog. That's it.
Anna, what's on your heart?
We'll all be looking like a mule looking at a new gate.
Come on now. Anna, what's on your heart?
Rico said something that made perfect sense to me. We've got to try to find a solution here. But I look around and I look at all these different stories over and over and over and over again. It's like a nightmare. Like, I promise you, it's like, and then I actually saw a post that the guy that took the video of Mr. Blake getting shot 5 or 7 times in his back, he says he can't sleep at night. Obviously PTSD and anxiety after the fact. Do these officers not understand that people that are seeing this and are seeing this via social media and on TV and are actually physically there are not being traumatized by what's going on? And that is why this youth that's coming up, I'm telling you, I see the post, I hear my children talk, I listen. They don't care. They're getting weapons. They're going to protect themselves. And as sad as it is, you know, I pray for everyone. And I always do. I've said it from the beginning of the show. I pray, but I don't see it getting any better because no one is accepting responsibility. That's where change starts. When somebody steps up and they said, I'm responsible for this, let's make change.
Good deal.
That's all.
I'm going to Xavier, then I'm going to Frank before we get out of here. Xavier, what's on your heart? And Toya, you still there? I want to touch you as well. Xavier? Okay, we might have lost Xavier. Let me see. Did we lose Xavier? No, he's still. Unmute your phone there, Xavier. Unmute your phone. I'll come back to you, brother. Let's go to Toya. Toya, what's on your heart? Okay, we might have lost him already. Frank, you still there?
Yeah.
What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
No, I got a lot to say, and I'm gonna say absolutely none of it. But I am going to say this. Something that brother. I'm gonna say something. Something that I saw, man, that just moved me.
And it's like, wow, how do you get there?
Mm-hmm.
The young man that was shot 7 times, at the bedside with his mom, and his mom, talking to her son, and she says, "Come on, baby, let's pray."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why that this is what it is, but they have an officer that is at their at the door.
Mm-hmm.
So someone in the room said, "Are you a man of faith?" And he said, "Yes." And they said, "Come pray with us." After the police had shot their son 7 times.
Mm-hmm.
But God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's powerful. I have not seen that video, but I definitely would love to see it, man, just so I can see the love that's there. Curtis, what's on your heart, man? Instant replay, Curtis. What's on your heart?
Right now, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Matter of fact, I'm gonna keep it $5.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody please tell me what is the job, or where is the IR at? The internal, I forget what they call them, man. The
internal affairs.
Police that
internal affairs.
Huh?
Internal affairs.
Yeah, internal affairs.
Mm-hmm.
Where are they at? What are their job? IA. What is their job? I thought their job was, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I thought their job was to basically investigate wrongdoings by their own police department.
It's supposed to be.
So, at this point, at this point,
it's tough, brother. It's tough. It's tough.
At this point, am I wrong to believe that God is that God is showing truth, brother?
Mm-hmm.
Everything that folks have been complaining about for the last 50, 60 years have went unheard.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, am I wrong to believe that God heard those prayers? God sees the situation. God sees the evil set in the midst of good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's saying at this point, okay, y'all want to act like y'all don't see it. You want to act like you don't hear it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to act like you didn't say it.
Let's make it
I'm
plain.
gonna put it on Front Street. I don't know, man. I drive for Amazon now, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not kidding you, bro. I'm in some neighborhoods that I know that there's no way in the world I could own a house here.
Yeah.
Like I could probably get approved, but they will run me out of this neighborhood quick as a fly land on a stoop.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't help but say in the back of my mind, bro, and this ain't never happened to me, even when I was driving trucks. I'm saying, God, please don't let this be the day that my sons get a call that I was killed. And
exactly.
and I'm gonna end it like right here. Raheem, yesterday, right after we got off the phone, remember I said to you, I said, all right, Raheem, I said, look, I gotta go to work. I'll call you when I get off.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
When I pull into this town, man, I pull up beside this pickup truck. And there's 3 of our Caucasian American brothers in the pickup truck. In the window is a banner, a bunch of little small stickers of Confederate flags all across the window, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One sitting on the passenger side that's sitting closest to me. He looked out that window, man, and he gave me a look. You know how you can feel when somebody's staring at you?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And he gave me this look, right? So at first I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to entertain that. I can feel this dude all in my rear molars. But then my spirit said, oh, you still a man.
Mm-hmm.
You a man. And when I looked up at him and I looked him straight in his face, he put his head down.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I pull off, they followed me for about 2 or 3 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm saying, wow, man, why should I even have to go through that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here trying to make money just like anybody else. I'm out here obeying the law just like anybody else. If you don't want me to believe that all cops are bad, then stop believing that all black folks are criminals.
Good deal. Good deal. Kurt, we got to wrap it up, man. We got to wrap it up. Got to get on out of here.
I'm done. I'm done right here. I wasn't going nowhere after that.
Okay. Xavier, are you still with us, Xavier?
Yeah, we're not deep.
Xavier, you there? Okay. Good deal. Anna, what's going on at 3 o'clock today?
At 3 o'clock today, if you missed the show, which was very educational with different valid and different points of view that, are valid to each and every one of us, you can tune in at www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Want to make sure that everybody share the broadcast as well. This has been a good one, man. It's got a little heated, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Anna was ready to jump through the screen and get a few people. Boy, I'm gonna tell you, she was ready to jump through the screen and get a few people today. I saw it in her. I saw it in her. But let me see who we got left. Hey, Donald Tucson.
Yeah.
Wake up and go to sleep, man. Pray us out.
Okay, God, when we come down and we have to eat now things we get back. So as we come to you, forgive us for just not being obedient because we've gone out the way. And when we don't have anything to say or we don't have an answer, open our ears, our heart and our mind, so that we will hear your voice. We pray it all in Jesus' name. We give you glory for the things that you're going to do, even in this situation. Because according to your word, you say it says all things work together for good. So however you work good out of this, that your will be done.
Yes, Father.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
We're about to get out of here. Bishop, you got anything before we get out of here? Oh, I think Bishop done hung up on. Okay. Good deal. It is now.
No, I didn't.
Huh? It is.
I'm sorry. I didn't know you were calling me. All I want to say is, I really hope that there can be communication that will come up with a solution that works.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Praise him on that. It is now 10:03. We're about to get out of here for today. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and more than that, thank you for allowing DK Media Group and associates to be a part of your morning. It's been a great broadcast, and share the broadcast. Anna, is anything going on at 12 o'clock today?
At 12 o'clock, I have the great testimony of Stephanie Jones coming up. You don't want to miss it. How you went from drugs to a born-again Christian, the whole journey. You don't want to miss this show. So I'll see you guys at 12, lunchtime with Anna.
Good deal. Make sure y'all log in and join in and share her broadcast. Share it. All y'all need to hear this, because that's a powerful story. That's a powerful story, powerful testimony. And the only thing that does is let you know that God can, he will, if you give him an opportunity. He can, he will, if you give him an opportunity. Amen, Anna?
Amen to that. I got goosebumps. I'm telling you, wait till y'all hear this story.
Yes.
Good. Y'all gonna have goosebumps too.
Exactly. It is 10:04. You're about to exit the morning glow. But before you go, I want you to do me 2 favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number 2, why? This is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light in from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. Let your light shine. And do me a favor, if you don't mind. Go out there, find somebody, and give them some love. You might just get some love in return. Somebody say something.
That was Nathaniel.
Okay, got you. Here we go. Have a great day, y'all. Love ya.